by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 61 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A Ligonier man is facing child pornography charges after an investigation into allegations that he had inappropriate contact with minors. Investigators say they spoke with a victim who was 12 years old at the time of the alleged contact with now 80-year-old Terry Barr. A victim told investigators that Barr asked him and a friend to, quote, pose naked for Barr. Ligonier Valley Police recently executed a search warrant at Barr's home on West Church Street. That's where electronic devices, cameras, and other recording devices were seized by authorities. Barr is facing child pornography charges as well as possession of child sexual abuse material. Community leaders came together in Homewood on Saturday afternoon with a message to stop the violence. This comes after 2 homicides took place in Homewood over the past week. 5 homicides total in the city of Pittsburgh in the month of August alone. Adrian Young is with the organization Tree of Life, telling KDKA-TV.
And we don't have to live in violence. We don't have to live fragmented and scared.
Gathering took place at Frankstown Avenue and Starrett Street, where Bethany Baptist Church of Homewood held its annual Community Day celebration.
The church needs to come outside of the walls and come out here with these people and show these people that they care about them and that they are somebody.
There have been 50 homicides in Allegheny County so far this year. Another local school district is delaying the start of the school year due to mold found in one of its school buildings. Homer Center School District in Indiana County says mold spores were found in some elementary classrooms. It's delaying the start of the school year to Tuesday, September 1st. In a letter, the district says the exceptionally warm and humid weather this summer created, quote, challenging conditions within portions of the elementary school building. KDK Radio News Time, it's 7:02. The AccuWeather forecast next.
In the news, we're hearing a lot about data centers. Just take a listen to what Stacey Garrity has to say.
In very rural Pennsylvania, you have areas that are in the middle of nowhere. What perfect places to put data centers?
That was Stacey Garrity, folks. And it's pretty clear that we should be worried about what she has in mind for us in small towns and rural communities.
48 out of 67 of our counties in Pennsylvania are rural. So there are a lot of areas where you can put data centers.
Ohio's kicking our butt. They have over 192. We have a lot of catching up to do, but you know what? We need to deregulate.
Deregulate data centers? We all know what Stacey Garrity means. No local control, no regulations, higher electric bills. Go to this website, truthaboutgarrity.com. and see for yourself why we can never trust Stacey Garrity to look out for us.
Paid for and authorized by Shapiro for Pennsylvania.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sunshine, but the risk for an afternoon thunder shower with a high of 73, and a shower may linger for some tonight, otherwise partly cloudy, low 55, followed by a nice stretch starting tomorrow with a good bit more sun and a high of 71, with more sun than clouds for Tuesday as well. Still another nice day, high 75. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get green. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, we will take the 10th caller to begin the broadcast, as we always do, at 412-922-1020 to win a gift card, $25 in value. Good people at Sorgles. And today is the day that Mr. Oster and the masses will get together, and you will have a very easy time finding them. Just simply put your nose downwind, because it's the Garlic Festival. Can't wait. Cool temperatures, no rain. Here we go.
Oh, I can't believe it.
They did that just for you.
I know it. Well, I've been taking the honey roasted garlic ice cream around as I'm promoting the festival, and it's a love it or hate it thing. When I was on PTL, a producer came in and she took one little bite and she's like, no. But then the woman that was on after me in the kitchen, she asked me to leave some. She loved it so much. I was in here a couple nights ago with the Jags, and they loved it. So we'll see. That's what I'm going to be giving. I have taste of that.
So John and Rachel liked it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's a seal.
I brought them
that's a gold seal.
I brought them some pasta, too. So they first started with the garlic pasta and then went right to the garlic ice cream. So I'll be serving both today, free samples. Of course, the festival is free today from 12 to 3 down at South Park, Flora Park Garden Center and Creamery. I was there a couple days ago to drop off all the art. Jono and Maria Prasic have donated a bunch of really beautiful art.
Wow.
In fact, when I was walking through the studio today back in the offices, I forgot. Jono has a painting up there of the city here. And so, yes, they donated all this art. We'll have a silent auction for that. We're giving away a ton of stuff, 20 bags of garden soil, all these things from DRAM, watering and fertilizers, my favorite fertilizer. But the whole festival, it's to help the South Hills Interfaith Movement, SHIM. They do a lot of great work in the South Hills, provide food for people that are hungry, people that are working 2 jobs, people that are kids, seniors. And we're asking you bring a donation. Hopefully you have some extra produce from the garden, but if not, just bring some shelf-stable food. I've got a whole list of items that SHIM could use at DougOster.com. But I want you to come and taste the ice cream. I want you to come and taste the garlic pasta I'm making. I'm going to make that right when I'm go off the air here and bring it down there fresh. We've got spotted lanternfly honey to taste. We've got roasted garlic. We've got all sorts of stuff going on there. It's just going to be fun. I hope people come. At least it's a nice day. So we'll see. Thank you, Janoski's Farm and Greenhouse, for 40 pounds of garlic I'll be selling, and all that will go to SHIM, my ultimate garlic Alfredo pasta. That goes over good. Nobody worries about that one. It's just the ice cream. Auntie Anne's pretzel truck is bringing all sorts of garlic stuff to put on your pretzels, and so it's going to be cool.
That's a good combination.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. The Flora Park is actually right inside South Park. As soon as you get there, get into South Park from the Corrigan side, it's just on your right there. 600 parking places, so there should be plenty of places for free parking. The festival's free, and you know me, Rob. Garlic is my thing, and I'm really excited to try and help SHIM and get together with a lot of like-minded people that say there can't be enough garlic in a dish, as you know from every time I walk in this studio.
The only time I think about garlic, and every time I should say, is that scene in Goodfellas where they're in jail making sauce and little razor blade.
Paul Sorvino is using the razor blade technique.
That's my story of my life, I guess. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm also I've got a trip coming up to northern Italy in April, and it's already starting to book up. So if you're interested in a 9-day trip to northern Italy, Venice, Verona, the place where they make grappa, Bassano del Grappa, and the Dolomite Mountain Chain, just go to DougOster.com. I've got all sorts of information there about the trip. We have a lot of fun on these trips, and I've got a reunion coming up for my Sicily trip. Southern Italy Sicily trip was last year, and we're having a reunion. It's going to be fun. And I went in the garden the other day, and a rabbit got in there, and so took a lot of my beans, even though these pole beans were already growing up, 8 feet tall. The rabbit got them at the bottom, took half my lettuce, went to the hardware store. My little local hardware store is called Hastings Hardware, and they always help me out. Got some chicken wire. I'm going to be fencing my fenced-in garden until I figure out the rabbit, till how it's getting in. I have no idea how this rabbit is getting in, but I've been talking to all sorts of people in the last couple of days that have had similar problems. A friend of mine that grows tomatoes and peppers only He had chipmunks coming and getting his tomatoes. Then a guy last night came up to me and was saying that he thinks he's a groundhog getting his tomatoes, pulling them off and taking one or two bites. So it's never easy, is it? Even though when we have this much rain, I wrote a column about a little bit about the rain, about how we as gardeners, we're sitting there and just like Rob here, he's just like, oh, no more rain. And I'm nodding and saying, oh, I understand. But inside gardeners are just like, yeah, baby, it's raining again. I have not watered, I don't think, since May. But boy, this is over the top. And we're going to talk a little later to Craig Stone from Davey Tree. And our topic was supposed to be how to water the right way. We set up the topics like in January, figuring, oh, when we get to end of August, everybody will be hoping that it we'll get some rain. Now we've got too much rain. And so we'll talk to him about what the effect has been on the trees and what's going on there. I'll be interested to talk to him and just see if he's seeing all sorts of fungal issues and stuff. I've got some stuff going on in my garden that I'm not so sure about. So for my rabbits, what I'm doing until I can figure out how that rabbit's getting in, or rabbits, who knows, I'm using this stuff called hot pepper wax. And hot pepper wax is organic. And for some reason, when you spray it on the whatever you want them not to eat, we can't taste the hot pepper, but the rabbit will not eat it when you have the hot pepper wax on there. It's a product from Bonide, and it works really well. And so that's what I'll do until I can figure out how that rabbit's getting in there. I usually try and go out right at dusk, because that's usually when rabbits are coming out, and try and spook them and get them to run to wherever they're coming in and out. But I've not seen the rabbit in there. So, I take one of my dogs in there, and I'm just like, all right, go get him. And she knows something has been in there from the scent, but nothing is actually in there when she's looking around and digging around and smelling. So, well, what can you do? At least the tomatoes are good. Oh, you know what? And when Nikki Jabor came on the show, she's a great garden personality in Nova Scotia, Canada. She told us about a tomato called Midnight Roma. And so some of us got that seed and planted it, and I'm one of them. And I'll tell you what, it's not really a sauce tomato, even though it's called a Roma, but it's really got great taste. It just has a little bit of purple on the outside of the tomato, but mostly red and relatively small, like a Roma. But boy, the flavor is really good. I'm still waiting for some of my big tomatoes to ripen, and I think a lot of people are. Now is the time to snip off the tops of the tomatoes. If you're really anxious for these tomatoes to ripen, and I've been picking lots of tomatoes, but not the biggest ones, not the late ones. And I'm just going to trim off the top of the tomatoes, because what's happening is the tomato keeps putting flowers on, thinking this season's going to go forever. But, of course, we know it's going to end in October. By doing that, by cutting off the top and slowing down flower production, all the plant sees that tomato as is like a seed delivery system. And so when you cut off the top and it stops making flowers, it's like, oh, man, I got to make seeds. And that's when it'll ripen up those tomatoes a little bit quicker. Like I said last week, my garden is a jungle of tomatoes and peppers and figs. Oh, man, my figs are going nuts. We have our friend Steve Biggs on a couple times a year. He's the fig whisperer. He wrote a book called Growing Figs Where You Think You Can't. And using his advice, I've been able to get that tree has probably at least 200 figs on it, and they're going to be ready here pretty soon. And we'll talk about it when things get cold again. But all I'm doing is, and it's a big tree. It's a 15-foot tall tree. It's getting too big. But I lay that tree down on the ground and just cover it with bags of compost. And then I use the compost in the spring. And that has the bags of compost go over the tree right after frost, and then a layer of straw on top of that. Yesterday, I was in Homewood doing work for Farm to Table, Buy Fresh, Buy Local. There's a place there called the Historic Homewood Farm, and we were planting cole crops in a hoop house. And it had a lot of volunteers there. It was a great project, and a lot of people that volunteered had never planted before. Because I just assumed everybody, you know how it is when you're a gardener, you think everybody can plant, but they just looked at me with, kind of that glaze in their eyes, and I showed them how to do it. We dug holes, put compost in, put the cole crops in, kale and collards and stuff like that, and then watered them in and mulched them, and it was a great project.
All right, 866-391-1020. Mr. Stone, 20 minutes away, Davy Tree Talking Tree. But right now, we're talking gardening. We're talking everything with Doug Oster, DougOster.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Hi, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. I've been in the financial planning industry for 22 years. Before that, I was a golf pro. And being a golf pro meant I was away a lot, which left my dear wife, Barb, home alone to do the extraordinary job of raising our 2 kids. I really had no idea how wonderful they were until they were all grown up. They are smart, respectful, and kind. My son Lester and daughter Sarah both work with me here at Botkin Family Wealth Management. They work hard and have a wonderful relationship with one another, with me, and with our many clients. I can't take any credit for how they turned out. That was all Barb. But I am thoroughly enjoying spending each day with them now. We work as a team for our clients and hope to get to meet you one of these days. Find out more at BotkinFamilyWealth.com. That's Botkin, B-O-T-K-I-N, BotkinFamilyWealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
The KDKA Radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Starts for the Los Angeles Dodgers to get a win from their prize trade acquisition, Tarek Skubal. The victory came at the Pirates' expense. Now, despite giving up 3 runs in the first inning yesterday, Skubal regrouped and led the Dodgers to a 4-3 win at Chavez Ravine that further threatened the Pirates' fading wild card aspirations. The loss dropped the Pirates to 5 games under 500, and they entered the game 6.5 games out of the final wild card spot in the National League. 2 teams later today, 4:10. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. And last night in Brooklyn, it was midfielder Sam Bassett scoring the only goal on a sharp free kick in the 83rd minute to give the Pittsburgh Riverhounds a 1-0 road win against Brooklyn FC. And through 3 rounds of the BMW Championship, Wyndham Clark is at 17 under. He has a 5-shot lead ahead of second place Rory McIlroy. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
With Kohl's Back to School sale, kids get styles that say, I'm so back. And you get savings that say, I'm so good at this. Save up to 40% on school essentials. Plus, shop in-store this weekend for your chance to get up to $100 instant Kohl's cash. Back to school confidence runs in the family. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora at Kohl's. Offers end August 23rd. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we need your help. We need you to call. Get out that trowel and start digging in the dirt with us today. Doug wants to talk some gardening. 866-391-1020. And I know there'll be a day that we'll be hoping for rain again, but I've had my fill.
Oh, I don't blame you.
I have.
That came down hard yesterday. I mean, and then bad wind, and that was awful.
I didn't even know it was that bad until I was hiding in the basement trying to recoup after a long day. And the next thing you know, I'm like, my feet are wet. There it was again. You know what? I don't even care anymore. I just gave up. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just done with all of it. It's just been too much. It's every day, doom and gloom, rain coming down. I'm done. Cutting grass every 2 days.
Every 2 days?
I'm done. I mean, it's like the dandelions. They're laughing at me.
Yeah, they're like, here we are. This is awesome.
You thought you destroyed us. We're back. But it'll be interesting to talk to Mr. Stone.
Yeah, see what's going on out there. The other thing is, you get this really soft ground, and that can lead to trees falling over.
I don't have any trees. I made sure there's not one tree in my yard. I don't want any trees or bushes. None of it. No weeds.
Well, wait. When I was there,
they're all
last
gone.
time I was there, that dogwood tree's gone?
No. I would never do that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
still there. But no trees, no shrubs, no weeds. Mulch everything. In fact, if I could mulch the front steps, I would mulch the front steps. Seriously, the weeds have been absolutely out of control.
I know.
And you know what? Then you do the thing to kill them naturally. Then they're brown and try to dig them out of the cracks in the sidewalk. It's been just a really crazy summer. And then we had that extreme heat this year.
Do you have a string trimmer? Like a weed whacker?
Yes. I tried that.
That's the way I'm dealing with weeds in between pavers and stuff, and it works pretty well.
I have an edger that goes backwards. It comes at me as opposed to going away from me. I can't do anything right. It's just been a crazy summer, Doug. All right, we got a call. Here's Joe. You're on KDK from that great community of Swickley, Pennsylvania. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, good morning, guys. I live in an area with a pretty severe deer problem, so I've taken to putting window boxes just high enough under the windows so that the deer can't get to them.
So what are they on the third floor?
No, but they're just about 6 feet off the ground, and they just don't quite want to stretch that far. So anyway, there's enough other stuff they eat. So anyway, if I clean that out, leave it in place, and put bulbs in there, it's only a window box. Do you think the bulbs will freeze out?
Well, it's not so much the freezing out that we're worried about. It would be rotting. It would have to be really well drained. Most of the time for winter bulb planting in containers, we want the container to be inside like a garage or something like that, so it doesn't get all that snow and rain. So they could freeze out, but if you put the toughest things in there, they'd be okay. I'm just worried about rotting. But you know what? When you do get your bulbs, when you go to the nursery and get the things you want and plant them outside in the soil, I would give it a try. I would put something in there like daffodils, snowdrops. Maybe snowdrops would be an early bloomer, and just put a few in there and see how they do. And if they are successful, then you'll know that you can continue to do that, and it would look absolutely beautiful with those window boxes. How many window boxes do you have in the house?
Well, on the sun side of the house, I just have a single 4-foot box.
Oh, that's a nice size. How 4 foot wide? How wide is it the other way?
Yeah, front to back is about 8 inches, and the depth is about 10 inches.
Okay. So this year, I'm assuming you really haven't had to water it, or you have? Because that.
Oh, just early on.
Yeah.
First week after I planted, and that was it.
What kind of stuff do you plant in there?
I'm sorry to tell you, I don't know. It's 2 vinca vines, and it's just stuff we picked up and looked at and liked it, and it flowers all summer long.
That's all you need to know, brother. That's all you need to know, just that it's doing its thing.
Yeah, flowers all winter long. And the snowdrops, if I put some of them in the lawn, I hear you talk about them every year, and it sounds so nice. If I put some of them in the lawn, do the deer go after snowdrop bulbs?
No, nothing wants snowdrop bulbs. That's why I love them so much. And, Joe, I'd really recommend planting some snowdrops out there because they can bloom so early. It's just a kind of a welcome to spring, even though they could sometimes when they're close to the house can bloom as early as January 15th. Now, last winter, they came up because we had a thaw in January. They came up, they budded, and then it got super cold for like a month. But they just sat there in suspended animation, and then as soon as it warmed up at the end of February, they were there. They were there to bloom. So you'll never know when they're going to bloom, but they're worth it because the deer won't bother them. There's a couple other things, Joe, if you're interested, that you could plant bulb-wise that the deer don't like, and one of them is called Glory of the Snow. That would be another one that would be kind of cool to have in the lawn because it's a little blue flower, and the deer won't touch it. The chipmunks won't eat the bulbs, and it forms this colony after a few years, as do the snowdrops. And so you'd buy your first 25 bulbs and plant them, and then every year you'd have more and more and more, and you just do that one planting in the fall, and you'll never have to plant again. So that's it's not instant gratification, but it's really an easy way to do things. Well, you get this bulb auger. The one I use is from a company called Power Planter, and it's made really well. I've had augers before that like they'll bend and stuff, and it's only like $25, and you put it on your drill. And for little bulbs like that, for snowdrops and Glory of the Snow and other small ones, they only have to go down a few inches, so it's easy. And as I said, once you put them in, you're set. You're good to go. And every year beyond, you'll have those beautiful flowers. As we get closer to the fall, I'll talk extensively about deer-resistant bulbs. But so, Joe, it sounds like you live in an area like mine where the deer are just everywhere.
They come through twice a day. You see them in the morning and you see them in the evening.
Yeah.
And I kind of approached one the other day, and he snorted, and he put his hoof down.
Yeah.
And this will show you where I am. I looked at him and I go, "You talking to me, tough guy?" And then he turned around and walked away. Hey, but are crocuses, are they deer resistant as well?
No. Rabbits and chipmunks and deer, they all love crocus, and so they have to be protected somehow. I was out the other day, as soon as I came down the driveway, a mother with 3 triplets, and then in the woods, a giant buck walking through. So when we come back, we'll talk to Craig Stone from the Davy Tree Expert Company all about this rain and how it's affecting the trees.
It's all coming up, along with Rob Taylor in the news at 7:30 on KDKA.
Honor the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks by visiting the Remember Me Rose Garden, a living memorial to the heroes of Flight 93. Based in Somerset, the garden features thousands of roses and perennials, wildflowers, 50 flowering trees, a walking trail, and more. See the new Visitor Center. Enjoy live music during this September 11th commemoration, just a quarter-mile east of the Flight 93 Memorial. Visit remembermerosegarden.org.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand, so shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One cart, one trip. Everything your family counts on. Tylenol for the aches, Band-Aid for the scrapes. Johnson's Baby for the littlest ones. Neutrogena for you. Find them across the store here at Dollar General. And Kenview proudly supports the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and Yellow Glasses. Grab a pair up front for $2 and help fund reading programs for local kids.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life, your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines. A tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 62 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police say at least 6 gunshots were fired Saturday night on the north side, with one woman arriving at a police station appearing to be grazed by a bullet. That shooting occurred around 10 o'clock Saturday night near the intersection of Cross and Strauss Streets in Perry South. Police took one man into custody. Community leaders came together in Homewood Saturday afternoon with a message to stop the violence. This comes after 2 homicides took place in Homewood over the past week. There's been 5 homicides total in the city of Pittsburgh so far in the month of August. Adrian Young is with the organization Tree of Hope.
And we don't have to live in violence. We don't have to live fragmented and scared.
Gathering took place at Frankstown Avenue and Stairs Street, where Bethany Baptist Church of Homewood held its annual Community Day celebration.
The church needs to come outside of the walls and come out here with these people and show these people that they care about them and that they are somebody.
There have been 50 homicides in Allegheny County so far this year. Another local school district is delaying the start of the school year due to mold found in one of its school buildings. The Homer Center School District in Indiana County says mold spores were found in some elementary classrooms, so they're delaying the start of the school year for all students to Tuesday, September 1st. In a letter, the district says the exceptionally warm and humid weather this summer created, quote, challenging conditions within portions of the elementary school building. Scary moments aboard an American Airlines flight that landed at Dallas-Fort Worth on Friday night. The plane filled up with smoke while it was landing due to a laptop on fire. Here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
Passenger Jessica Ergens was seated 2 rows behind the fire.
I said to the person sitting next to me, oh, shoot, his laptop's on fire. And I just remember I just saw the smoke first, and then it all happened really fast, and he was trying to get it away from him into the aisle.
She says several passengers tried to put out the flames.
There were 2 individuals that had their hands in bags of ice, and they were, shaking. They were visibly just very, shocked.
American Airlines says only 1 person needed treatment. Flight attendants eventually sealed the laptop in a thermal containment bag, according to the FAA.
KDK Radio News Time. It's coming up on 7:33. We have the AccuWeather forecast next.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
What do you want to do this week? Why not put Sorgles on your list? What? You've never been to Sorgles? Just come once and you'll be hooked. Hi, this is Randy from Sorgles. As a family-run business with lots of family on the floor, we have so much to share with you. And here's the list. The Greenhouse and Garden Center, Home Accents and Home Decor, Houseplants and Supplies, the Bakery and Deli, new baby apparel. We are told that's the best in the Pittsburgh area, fresh fruit market with an abundance of our own farm produce, the wine shop from Arrowhead Winery, hand-dipped ice cream, cider slices, slushies, candy and stacks, Arsenal Cider's tasting room, the gift barn with 3 floors of gifts and children's toys, the farm goats, oh, they're so comical, Naturally Sorgles, over 2,000 gluten-free items, the sluice for the kids, tiny town play area, and we have fresh popped kettle corn all the time. And don't be afraid of the parking and traffic at this time of the year. It's all doable. Sorgles, 724-935-2090.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Watch for a thundershower in the area this afternoon. Until then, we'll have some sun with a high of 73, followed by a spotty lingering shower for some tonight under a partly cloudy sky, low 55, leading to more sun and a rather nice day tomorrow, high 71, with a good bit of sun for Tuesday as well. The nice streak continues, high 75. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, listen, that Pick Your Own Veggie and Flower Day today, part 2, has been canceled because of inclement weather. Patty wanted me to let you know that, but I'm also going to let you know you have a $25 gift certificate opportunity right now if you're the 10th caller at 412-922-1020.
And now, it's time for Talking Trees, a service of the Davey Tree Expert Company.
We're joined by Craig Stone from the Davey Tree Expert Company. And Craig, we were supposed to talk about watering. You know, like I said, we come up with these topics in January, figuring August is going to be the time that we're going to talk about watering, but we don't have to do too much watering when it's raining like this, right?
No, not at all. Mother Nature's helping us out this year with that, so we're good there.
How has it affected the trees, or has it affected the trees? And what have you guys been working on when it's raining like this? And what do you do? What do you do if you're up in a tree and it starts pouring rain like that? Get down, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If it's a larger tree, most of our team will kind of wait it out. It takes a lot of effort to get up into a big tree sometimes. So
Sure.
If it's a quick, blow through, they'll wait it out. But obviously, if lightning or heavy winds come through there for safety aspects, we're getting down and kind of calling an all quit for the next 30 minutes or so. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely, living it and breathing it and taking it one day at a time.
When the soil gets soft like this, I worry about things like pines that are shallow rooted falling. Do you seeing any of that with all this rain?
We've had a few storm damages, not so much. And again, we try to be proactive with a lot of things. There's usually a lot of tall tale signs that, you can look for prior to a tree, possibly getting into a point of failure. So a lot of our clients that have been clients for a long time, we're educating them. We have technicians out there fertilizing or doing things that are bringing awareness to situations like that. So,
when does planting start full force, or has it already?
We're firing up to get ready for a fall planting. So we're accumulating, last minute orders and everything else. And with all this moisture, I think it'll be here a little sooner than, we're used to. So fall planting is just right around the corner.
Does all the rain affect the planting as far as the soil is concerned, or that doesn't really come into this?
It certainly could. Certain plants are a little more maybe susceptible to, like wet foot syndrome, things like that, or bathtub syndrome. Rhododendrons right now, you're seeing probably a lot of, wilting, things like that I think are related to fungal infections that we're seeing. But a lot of the plants, as far as the planting and the install, it makes our life a little bit easier. It'll make the yard a little more muddy, depending on what size trees we have to come in through. Obviously, having the discussion with heavy equipment, damaging to lawns and having to repair that due to, how moist the soil is, things like that. But for the most part, we'll take what Mother Nature's given us, but in other ways, it does create, avenues of problematic situations with, fungi and issues with that. So,
yeah, I have to think with all this rain, at least, in the vegetable garden, we've seen lots of fungal issues. Are you seeing fungal issues on trees due to the rain, or not so much?
A little bit, yeah. We're definitely dealing with it. A lot of it is stuff that I think has been going on for quite some time, and then just how much moisture we've had this year has really just made the situation much worse, and amplified everything for the homeowner. So it's come on rather quickly, but I think it's due to poor drainage for years and years, and then all of a sudden with all of this rain, it's just saturated. So.
Anything else rain-wise that you've seen in out there in the landscape that we should talk about, or have we covered it?
I mean, there's always those, leaf disease issues with the humidity that we had early on, even if it's not just in the, precipitation as far as, rain, the humidity creates a lot of fungal issues that we were dealing with earlier on this year. But now it's just obviously just soil saturation, things like that. But nothing too crazy as far as mature established trees. Those seem to be pretty unaffected. Dutch elm disease is something we've saw a lot of this year. So a lot of elm trees, you're seeing the wilting, things like that, and we're relating that to Dutch elm disease. So that's probably been the biggest thing we've seen so far this year.
Are you still able to plant elms out there? Are there elms that are resistant to the disease that you can still plant?
Yeah, there are some disease-resistant cultivars, and we can offer those. Right now, we're probably not planting those. We're waiting till a little more dormancy, just before they dig them at the nurseries, things like that. But again, with this moisture that we're having and possibly cooler temperatures coming in, that I think, it's just right around the corner. So we're probably estimating sometime here, early September, that fall season will be upon us, and we'll be hammering them out.
Craig, I know you're not allowed to touch an elm or an oak as far as pruning wise during the active growth season. But even though I've said that 100 times, I had somebody from Davie over, and I was like, well, what about these trees here? And he goes, those are oaks. You can't cut those until we get to the dormant season. Explain why we have to wait on these trees to do any pruning.
It's out of abundance of caution. There are times where, desperate times calls for desperate measures, but that's where we want to bring awareness to the homeowner, let them know that, the threat of possibly opening up wounds to their oak or elm could be an opportunity for, beetles or something to act as a vector contaminating those trees with oak wilt, Dutch elm disease. And that can happen in the form of storm damage too. A limb breaks, and you have these sites where these beetles can act, and it can also spread through root grafts. So that's another thing. It doesn't happen to your tree necessarily, the neighbor's tree that's nearby, and all of a sudden now you have a problem on your hands too.
You mentioned the humidity. I can't imagine having all that safety gear on and climbing trees in that humidity. That sounds absolutely very, very difficult for a Davie employee.
Yeah, I mean, our team goes through, heat acclimation and things like that. We never work alone. That lone wolf kind of, situation is something where that person, it just doesn't really apply in our company. So we have the peer gear kind of, things that everybody's checking on. We do 10 and 2 verifications with crews, things like that. So communication is always kind of there. And then our team, obviously having, ample amount of water, Gatorades, things like that to kind of keep it hydrated. And then just obviously our team knows, hey, when you're exhausted or you're reaching that point, blow the whistle and we'll come back another day.
Yeah.
We'll live to tell another day.
Makes sense. Well, it looks like we're going to have a couple of days here with low humidity, which is going to be absolutely wonderful. Now, Craig, hang in there because we've got some tree questions on the phone there. When we come back, we'll answer those. For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts like Craig from Davey at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733.
All right, coming back after sports with our final segment with Doug and obviously Mr. Stone, Davey Tree, Talking Tree. Then it's the Coons Cooking Hour. Potato and sweet potatoes. That's what we're going to be cooking up. Don't forget the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show coming up later today. Joe Giordano, former Pitt Panther baseball coach, now at IMG Academy. All about our Pirates who have now lost 5 in a row and entering last night's game against the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. 6.5 out of the wild card. Both Steeler quarterbacks looked horrible. The team played bad. We're going to give you all the X and O's as far as the preseason debacle against the Jets. Get you ready for the final preseason game against Buffalo and start thinking about when they start playing for keeps. All of that still to come today on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. Back with more in a moment. KDKA.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Stay in the heart of Pittsburgh at the Landing Hotel at Rivers Casino, located steps away from Acroshore Stadium, PNC Park, and the nightlife of the North Shore. They're the perfect spot for your entertainment needs. Visit thelandinghotelpgh.com to book your stay today. It's the weekly program that keeps you current with the latest travel trends and vacation values. Listen to AAA's Talking Travel every Saturday morning at 11 on KDKA Radio. The March of Dimes is proud to honor those who are building a healthier future for babies at this year's Pittsburgh Transportation, Building, and Construction Awards Luncheon, Tuesday, September 22nd at the Westin Pittsburgh downtown. Proceeds from this event help March of Dimes fund life-saving research, provide education and programs, and advocate for the health of all moms, babies, and families. For more information, please call 412-301-7433.
Details at KDKARadio.com. News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pirates gave up a 3-0 lead and were edged out by the Dodgers in Los Angeles, and it took 4 starts for the Los Angeles Dodgers to get a win from their prize trade acquisition, Tarek Skubal. The victory came at the Pirates' expense. Now, despite giving up 3 runs in the first inning yesterday, Skubal regrouped and led the Dodgers to a 4-3 win at Chavez Ravine that further threatened the Pirates' fading wild card aspirations. The loss dropped the Pirates to 5 games under 500, and they entered the game 6.5 games out of the final wild card spot in the National League. 2 teams later today, 4-10. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. And last night in Brooklyn, it was midfielder Sam Bassett scoring the only goal on a sharp free kick in the 83rd minute to give the Pittsburgh Riverhounds a 1-0 road win against Brooklyn FC. And through 3 rounds of the BMW Championship, Wyndham Clark is at 17 under. He has a 5-shot lead ahead of second place Rory McIlroy. More sports, 937thefan.com. Hey, your Pratt Pack for Janoski's Holistic Wellness Festival is happening Saturday, September the 12th from 10 until 4. 30-plus unique vendors, food and drink vendors as well. Free mini educational building held in the Pavilion building. Hey, also giving you a chance to win some great prizes, so help them support the community by bringing a non-perishable food item for the local food pantry. And drop off your donation at the welcome table to receive a ticket for a chance to win a $25 Janoski's gift card. Janoski's in Clinton.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
David Tree Talking Tree, Doug Oster, DougOster.com. All right, from Mr. Stone and Mr. Oster, a tree question from Jenny in McCandless. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm calling about my magnolia tree. It's blooming now. Why is that?
Craig, what's going on? She's seeing blooms on her magnolia right now. We should be getting them in the spring. Of course, mine always freeze out. I don't get to see mine bloom very often, Craig.
Yeah. Do you happen to know what variety magnolia, and was it pruned later last year by chance?
No, I don't know the type of magnolia tree, but it wasn't pruned.
Maybe one of those just nature's anomalies. Sometimes we see that, Craig, where you see a lilac will bloom a little bit, even a rhododendron, something that already has buds put on it. They get confused, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is natural. Sometimes I don't have a professional opinion as to why. It could just be, some buds set a little bit late. We did have a late frost, and, the sun exposure and some stuff with that location could be, setting new flowers, and that's what you're seeing today. Has it ever happened in the years past?
Last year it did also.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, are there varieties of magnolias that have different types of blooming times?
There are some later blooming magnolias that could do that.
Yeah, so. But not this late. I mean, the later blooming ones are in the spring, and they bred them to be a little later because, like guys like me that have an older variety, the buds swell, and then we get a frost. And I haven't seen my magnolia bloom, Craig, since maybe 3 years ago. So you just never know. And I think that it's just one of those anomalies, Jenny, that, like Craig said, it put on buds late because of a late frost. And did it bloom in the spring also?
It did, yes.
Yeah, well, at least you're getting your spring blooms, and I guess you're getting a little bonus there. Some extra blooms. The whole thing won't bloom. It'll just bloom for a few things, a few buds, and then it'll be off to sleep here in a couple months. All right. Thanks so much for your call. Let's see who else wants to talk, and we've got any tree questions. If not, Craig, you're gonna have to answer garden questions.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. Cindy wants to talk about some shrubbery, some bush issues on the air from Allison Park on KDKA. Hey, Cindy, what's going on?
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. We have a dwarf burning bush that died this year. It was about maybe 10 years old. And so we went to replace it to find out you can't buy a burning bush anymore because they're considered an invasive species, which I was so sad about because I love my burning bush. So we replaced it with a chokeberry. We just bought it, but my concern is that spot is almost completely shade. Did we buy the wrong thing? Is there something else that we can use?
What do you think there, Craig? Do you know about chokeberries?
A little bit. I mean, it's not going to produce as many berries in that location if that's what you're trying to get, if that's what you're hoping for. The plant will not die, but it may be a little more thin, sparse. It's not going to be the most ideal location, as that's going to want a little more sun than, maybe I'm assuming shade is, is it less than 2 hours of sunlight, or is it 6 hours of sunlight or more?
How much sun do you get, Cindy?
I would say at a minimum 2 hours, maybe even less.
Oh. And you could move a plant like that this time of the year, right, Craig? If you wanted to move that into a sunnier location and put something else in the shade?
Certainly, yeah. I would definitely encourage you to move it. And again, I don't think it'll necessarily die, but you'll see it just kind of runted and, thinning and sparse. It's just not getting everything it needs to sustain a healthy life in that location.
Let's think of some. Yeah, we're going to think of some shade loving. I'm trying to think, Craig, what will we put in the shade there? Of course, you got to see the space. You want to make sure you got the right shrub in the right space. But in general, can you think of anything that likes shade?
You could look into, dogwoods of some sort. I mean, less than 2 hours of sunlight. I mean, that's a pretty heavy shaded area.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, again, with that much shade, are we looking at, very wet, saturated soils again, kind of, on the topic again today. So a dogwood typically would be a first recommendation.
Like red twig, yellow twig, dogwood, like that, you think? Or you're talking about a tree?
I'm thinking more of the tree. The red twigs would be something to consider, but again, you're going to lose that red color without that sunlight that it's, looking to have.
I was looking for something about like 8 to 10 high, 3 to 4 wide. We had, I think years ago, we had the red twig dogwood. We got a lot of disease on it.
Do you have, Cindy, do you have deer pressure?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I was thinking, Craig, azalea, rhododendron maybe. Oh, you know what? How about Japanese pieris? How about that? Cindy, take a look at that. That might be something that you might want to look at. The deer won't eat it. It's evergreen. It has exfoliating bark, so that it looks cool in the winter, but it keeps its leaves. And then in April, you get these kind of like little bell-shaped flowers, and that could grow in the shade, and there's lots of different varieties. So take a look at that. And thanks very much for your call. Can we get one more in, Rob, you think, or we're out of time?
Thank you.
All right, Cindy, thanks. Okay, let's go to Mo real quick. Mo, you got about a minute. Go ahead. Welcome to KDK. Mo is on the air. Go ahead, Mo.
A dogwood that is in bloom for the second time this year.
Well, that's the same thing with our magnolia.
I know. Right.
It's just a sort of anomaly that happens, and it's been happening more and more, at least in my landscape, where I'm seeing these things, these spring bloomers rebloom at the end of the season. But again, the whole tree's not going to rebloom. It's just a little bit of nature, and we might not have a scientific explanation for it. It's just happening, and there's nothing we can do about it.
And it never had done that before in the 25, 30 years.
Right. I understand. But that's the way it goes sometimes.
All right, Mo, we got to get to the news.
You.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, Mo. And Craig, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDKA. Remember, you can always call the experts from Davey at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733. Come on down to the South Hills in South Park today from 12 to 3. I'm having my Pittsburgh Garlic Festival. Get a little taste of Pittsburgh or of garlic ice cream and some garlic pasta.
All right, news coming up next. Stay with us. Good morning. It's your Pratt Pack.
In the news, we're hearing a lot about data centers. Just take a listen to what Stacey Garrity has to say.
In very rural Pennsylvania, you have areas that are in the middle of nowhere. What perfect places to put data centers?
That was Stacey Garrity, folks. And it's pretty clear that we should be worried about what she has in mind for us in small towns and rural communities.
48 out of 67 of our counties in Pennsylvania are rural. So there are a lot of areas where you can put data centers.
Ohio's kicking our butt. They have over 192. We have a lot of catching up to do, but you know what? We need to deregulate.
Deregulate data centers? We all know what Stacey Garrity means. No local control, no regulations, higher electric bills. Go to this website, truthaboutgarrity.com. and see for yourself why we can never trust Stacey Garrity to look out for us.
Paid for and authorized by Shapiro for Pennsylvania.
In Pittsburgh, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 25 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Pittsburgh. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health. Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 63 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police say at least 6 gunshots were fired Saturday night on the north side. One woman arriving at a police station appearing to be grazed by a bullet. She was taken to the hospital. That shooting occurred around 10 o'clock Saturday night at the intersection of Cross and Strauss Streets in Perry South. Police did take one man into custody. They also recovered a rifle. A man is in the Allegheny County Jail this morning. Well, another local school district is delaying the start of the school year due to mold found in one of its school buildings. The Homer Center School District in Indiana County says mold spores were found in some elementary classrooms. It's delaying the start of school until Tuesday, September 1st. In a letter, the district says the exceptionally warm and humid weather this summer created, quote, challenging conditions within portions of the elementary school building. The heavy rain and thunderstorms Saturday evening in parts of our region led to the cancellation of the Squirrel Hill Night Market. Organizers are working to reschedule the market for Saturday, August 29th from 6 to 10 p.m., but that date has not been confirmed. Severe weather also forced the postponement of the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival's opening weekend. Renaissance Festival says opening weekend will now be next weekend in South Huntington, Westmoreland County. A major decision Saturday in a case that has gotten national attention and divided a Texas community. Here's ABC's Allison Kosick.
The Texas judge has denied convicted 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony's motion for a new trial, rejecting claims that an alleged agreement between trial attorneys impacted his ability to testify in his own defense.
Get out of the roadway, you're going to jail!
Protests in June when a jury found Anthony, who was 17 at the time, guilty of murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf from an opposing team at a high school track meet in April of 2025. Allison Kosick, ABC News, New York.
KDK Radio News Time, it's 8:02. The AccuWeather forecast is on the way.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sunshine, but the risk for an afternoon thunder shower with a high of 73, and a shower may linger for some tonight, otherwise partly cloudy, low 55, followed by a nice stretch starting tomorrow with a good bit more sun and a high of 71, with more sun than clouds for Tuesday as well. Still another nice day, high 75. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
One potato, two potato, and a sweet potato, too. It's all about potatoes today. It is the Coons Cooking Hour. He is Frank Dentisi. It is your Pratt Pack. And again, we are streaming live, KDKRadio.com. KDK Watch, the Metropolitan Window video screen. We're now streaming live on X. Don't forget the Odyssey app. It's a free app. Download it on your phone. AUDACY, 100.1 FM, AM 1020. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to. I think potatoes alone you could live on through eternity. There's always something you can do. You can mash them, you can fry them, you can bake them, and you can just eat them because they're that good. And sweet potatoes are truly nature's candy. Good morning, Frank. Let's talk potatoes. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. There's nothing better than a nice baked potato. Something, a little bit of butter, sour cream, salt, and pepper. Nice and easy. Maybe some chives on top to make it look fancy. Doesn't really need it, though. And, you know, the nutrition in the potato, a lot of it's in the skin. I end up eating the skin, too, of a baked Idaho potato, or usually I'll bake an Idaho potato, and utilizing the easy ways to do things. So I microwave my potatoes because it's so much easier. I'm too impatient to sit there in front of the oven for an hour. So I go and put them in the microwave and just poke them with holes. You poke them with holes. I wrap them. You can wrap them in a paper towel. I wrap them in a paper towel. I poke the holes, put it in the microwave. You can get the ones at the store that are already wrapped that you just put in the microwave like that. But it's much easier just to buy a bag of potatoes, and just now and then I have a baked potato at home. If I'm out and about, one of the best places to go is a Wendy's for a baked potato, because they're the only ones that have this. When you go out, it's hard to find a healthy option in a fast food restaurant, and Wendy's really does come to. They still have all their tossed salads, and they have that baked potato is just delicious.
Now, let me ask you, they're also famous for their chili. I guess you could put it on a baked potato. I know they do the cheese and the broccoli and all the sour cream, but I guess you could put their chili on that baked potato.
Yes, you can. Another thing that's good with baked potatoes, or with potatoes, cut it in half, cook it, whether you're going to boil it or throw it in the microwave or throw it, if you're doing it like whole, it's much easier to microwave or bake it. And then what I do is cut it in half, hollow out the inside, and you can save that for mashed potatoes. And then get a little bit of pulled pork.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can even put some sour cream or something on top of that, or just some regular cheddar, and just bake that off, or just leave it as just pulled pork. But it got a great flavor to it as a potato skin, so you use it as a potato skin. But those potato skins, you can just fill them with some cheddar cheese and bacon and anything you would top baked potato off, and just toast them off in the oven, just under the broiler real quick if you want. Or you can throw them in if you have an air fryer that's on shelves instead of just the basket. You can do them in there, and it works out great. It's so easy to just fry up some French fries, whether you use the air fryer or just fry at home. You just take that potato, leave the skin on. If you have an Idaho potato, that skin's thin enough. You can cut that down. You can cut it by hand, or they have slicers just for French fries. I like to keep things easy. I can't store all these tools in my house, so I have a knife. I know how to cut, and I can cut them in the French fries. Throw them real quick in the deep fryer. Right, I do it right on the stove, right on the cooktop, and you can just fry them off really quick. Season them when they're done. I do a double fry, so I heat up the oil first. Take the potatoes, cut them in the fries. Rinse them, dry them, pat them dry. Then I fry them. Then I take them out when they're about halfway done. Set them down, let them drain, dab off the oil, then put them back in to finish them off. You can even do that ahead of time. You do it, hours ahead if you want. Just keeping once you hit the fryer, it's like a par fry, but it gives you a crispier fry without having to do any dusting or anything with cornstarch or anything like that. So it gives you a nice fry, similar to what you would get at Kennywood Park, because that's what they do. You realize you can also reuse potatoes when it comes to home fries. Another dish is
which was a staple back in the fall and winter growing up, comfort food, scallop potatoes. You can dice them up and put them in your scrambled eggs. I mean, they're so versatile. Then you throw in sweet potatoes, which is nature's candy. I mean, just nothing, plain. Just cook it, eat it. Great, salt and pepper to taste.
Yeah, and we have a company, the Little Potato Company. They have the little potatoes, and they're just boiled. What I do at home, I boil them, take them out, garlic, parsley, butter, toss them in there, done. You can do any like a garlic herb seasoning on them if you want, something like that. But so simple to do, and you don't even have to cut them. You don't have to peel them. You don't have to do anything, and you don't have to get just the brown either. You can go to the multicolor. So there's different things you can do there, and even as using dehydrated potatoes. So that's the box potatoes on the grocery shelf. They're good for a quick potato, but also they can be used for thickeners in soups. So you're making a soup, you want to thicken it up, you want to thicken a sauce up. That potato is a natural way of doing that. If you're trying to stay away from flour, that would be a better way to thicken. And again, it gives you some flavor where flour is going to give you like a pasty taste to it. That's not going to do that. So it's another way of being able to utilize it and do that. But I mean, just whether you have time or not, even we have a huge aisle of frozen foods with all the different fries already cut that you can do things with. But then coming over to produce and all the different potatoes, and it's cheap. It's very budget friendly. Depending on how much you want to do. We do have another company, I think it's still a Little Potato Company. They put them in trays with the seasoning and everything's already in there.
Oh, nice.
You microwave it or put them in the oven, depending which tray you get. But microwave or oven, put them in there. Tells you the amount of time. I want to say 3 to 5 minutes, somewhere around there.
Right.
And then it comes with a seasoning packet. So you pull it out of the microwave, put the seasonings on, toss a little bit. You're done. You got nice fresh potatoes. And and then what do you do if you have leftover mashed potatoes? At home, we used to add an egg and mix it up cold. I'd put it back in the fridge just to get it a little bit more chilled down. And then you roll it into almost like a meatball shape, where you can do an oval, dust it in a seasoned flour, and you can fry them or put them in your air fryer. Since it is a dry breading, you can put them in the air fryer. And now you got nice little potato pockets, make them as big or small as you want. So it can be like, it's just delicious, and it's a good way to use up a mashed potato than just reheating it,
Right.
And just great. And it's like the ultimate side dish, potatoes. I mean,
potato pancakes. I mean,
all the different varieties that you can do, and the versatility, and really, they're so easy to handle. I would buy the bag potatoes, whether you use the Little Potato Company or the regular bagged Idaho's, Redskin, like we use in our own homemade potato salad in the stores. A great option. Yukon Golds, the Klondike Golds, those have like a buttery taste to them. You can actually cut back on any butter that you add because those have that buttery, smoother taste to them. It's already part of the potato itself.
All right. As we go to break, want to remind everybody, number to dial to be on the show, 866-391-1020. All the versatile ways to use potatoes and sweet potatoes. You can throw in yams, too, if you want. Some lucky listener is going to get a $25 gift certificate before the hour is up. So we got to get to a break in a minute or so. But let me ask you, when you think mashed potatoes, what would be the top 5 entrees to go with mashed potatoes? Oh, obviously, some sort of, like turkey would be one. Meatloaf might be the other. What else do you think?
Turkey or a meatloaf or Salisbury steak. If you still people do a lot of Salisbury, used to do a lot of Salisbury steak. Stuffed peppers, they go great with a stuffed pepper or a stuffed cabbage. Here in Pittsburgh, that's a big thing. You can make pizza with the mashed potatoes. I know that sounds funny. You take the pizza shell and you use mashed potatoes as the sauce. You don't want to go too heavy on them. Then you can get some cut up onions and use a blend for the shredded cheese. It has like a cheddar and a mozzarella and a provolone in it or something like that. Just buy the cheese blends and use that for the top. And you know what you get when you're done with that? You get a pierogi pizza.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And it gives it's an alternative to whatever you want to do, to something else if you're looking for. I mean, it's a filling pizza, but it's absolutely delicious.
I don't know how many people have actually done this, but you were talking about baked potato skins. We always ate the skin, but I love baked potatoes cold, right out of the refrigerator after they've been, cooked. And not enough were taken during the regular meal. They get put back in the freezer, before home fries or something, slicing them up. You just reach in, get a little Heinz ketchup, little dab will do you. Eat them just basically as they were coming out of the oven, but they just now have cooled down in the refrigerator. Don't even need to heat them up. We never had a microwave. You just ate them. They were good.
Yeah, I like baked potato heated up. I don't know. There's just a taste consistency, but it's not the potato itself. Like if I had, like we made the potato croquettes, with the mashed potatoes, those I would eat cold. A potato pancake, I'll eat cold. Sometimes you just like, I want to grab it. I don't feel like eating it up. I'm hungry. And you grab it now.
So tell the folks what you picked up at Home Depot. I find this fascinating. This is what I need. I could be basically handling everything all at once. This is cool. First time I've ever heard of this. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, the 4-in-1 microwave.
Yeah.
So it does microwave like you normally would, but it's also a convection oven where it cooks without the microwaves actually on. So you can use it as that oven. And then it also does air frying. So it has a rack that goes inside of it. It's a round rack that still spins around just like your normal microwave. It's metal, but the air fryer is not using the microwave. So you can use the metal in there. And then it also does a combination of convection and microwave together. And I was cooking it last night. I made boneless, skinless chicken breast. I wanted to see how good. And I put like worst case scenario because I had 3 chicken breasts. And so I put them in a dish. It had to be a round dish because the casserole dish won't spin in there. So it's a little different that way. But I put them in a dish, but they were crammed. There was no airspace at all. And I did marinate these with the it wasn't Montreal steak. It was a mesquite marinade that I used, Grill Mates, McCormick Grill Mates. And I marinated them first before they've been marinating for a day. It says 15 minutes. I don't go by that. I let it as long as possible. Gives more time to soak it up. So I put them in there, and they took about 20, 25 minutes on the air fry. But I forgot on that one I did preheat it. But anyway, that was about the most delicious boneless chicken breast I've ever had.
Good, huh?
It stayed so juicy. And what it does is the convection comes on, and then it switches over to, I did on the combi combo of 2. And so it do microwave, then convection, microwave, then convection. And it kept going back and forth. And man, it was just so juicy. No dry ends whatsoever. It cooked, even though I had that packed tight, and these were big chicken breasts, so they were, a couple in the one side's a couple inches thick.
Right.
And cooked so even through that. It was amazing that it was able to cook it cooked better than it would have if I put it in the oven. And you wouldn't know that it had it was boneless, skinless chicken breast. The only thing different I did with marinade, but no skin, so no added fat beyond that marinade. And it should have been dry. Like if I made that in the oven, it would be a little bit dry. This was not dry at all.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back, get some calls in here. Let's go. Potatoes, the topic of conversation today. Some lucky listener is going to take home a $25 gift certificate, but you got to phone in with your recipe. 866-391-1020.
Your source for official traffic information. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are your property taxes too high? Time is running out. You have until September 1st, 2026 to appeal your Allegheny County property taxes. Call attorney Richard Ernsberger at the law firm Barron and Ernsberger at 412-391-2515 for the help you need.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
With Kohl's Back to School sale, kids get styles that say, I'm so back. And you get savings that say, I'm so good at this. Save up to 40% on school essentials. Plus, shop in-store this weekend for your chance to get up to $100 instant Kohl's cash. Back to school confidence runs in the family. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's cash do not apply to Sephora at Kohl's. Offers end August 23rd. See store or kohls.com for details.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, let's talk some potatoes. Let's go to Pat in Economy. She's up first on the Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, fellas. Back in 1997, Pillsbury owned the old El Paso brand, so you could use products to enter the contest for the bake-off. So I made up, and it was a quick and easy one. You had to be done in like 30 minutes or whatever. Anyway, and when I first made these, they were part of a different dish, but I didn't think I had enough time to do the whole thing, so I just entered taco taters. I used 4 medium Idaho baking potatoes, 3 tablespoons of cornmeal, 1 1¼ ounce package of taco seasoning mix, which was the old El Paso brand, and 4 tablespoons of olive oil. You preheat your regular oven to 450 degrees. Wash and dry the potatoes and pierce them with a fork, and microwave them on high for 8 minutes, turning once during baking. While the potatoes are baking, mix together the cornmeal and the taco seasoning mix in a bowl or on wax paper. Remove the potatoes from the microwave and quarter each one lengthwise. Dip the potato quarters in olive oil and roll them in the cornmeal seasoning mixture. Place them on a baking sheet and bake at 450 degrees for 8 minutes until crispy, and it makes 4 servings. It was a simple recipe, but it got me as a finalist to the bake-off that year.
Well, that's great.
What was the grand prize that year, Janet?
Pat,
go ahead.
It was $1 million.
Oh.
It was in increments of $50,000 a year for 20 years.
Oh, you could have lived with that.
3 times that I went,
yeah,
that was the prize back then, but I never won. I didn't even win their money, but I got the trips to the bake-off anyway.
Isn't it fascinating about these companies, who owns who? Like, I would have never, I mean, I've kind of really gotten baptized in this whole thing that is business over the last couple of decades, but that's surprising. Pillsbury owned old El Paso. That's a really cool story. Good stuff. Pat.
Well, they owned Green Giant also. You could have used Green Giant vegetables, you know.
Well, yeah, well, that makes sense, and it gives everybody a chance to promote the brand. So good stuff. Thank you, Pat. 866-391-1020. Here's Janet in Hopewell. Hey, Janet, welcome to KDKA.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Hello.
My recipe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. My recipe is for cheesy potatoes, and this is a recipe that every time somebody has a picnic or a party, they ask me to make. And it's a really easy recipe. It just consists of, you could use fresh potatoes or you could use like hash brown frozen, but I always try to use the fresh ones. And so you would get like about 3 pounds of potatoes. And I know some people like sweet potatoes and regular potatoes, so I start mixing them together, and it has like a sweet taste to it also. So about 3 pounds of potatoes, and then get about 1/4 cup of butter, a cup sour cream. Sometimes I add a little bit more sour cream to make it a little bit more creamier. And then you get 1 1.5 cans of cream soup. It doesn't matter what brand, just as long as you have the cream soup. Preheat your oven to 375. You're also going to need a bag of cheese, a 60-ounce bag of shredded cheese. I always like to get the sharp cheese because it's more flavorful. And once your oven's ready, get a 9x13 baking dish. What I do is I peel the potatoes, if I'm going to use the fresh potatoes, and boil them, cut them into little cubes, boil them. And then you're going to add the potatoes with the cheese, with the sour cream, with the soup, and then you can season it, but there is seasoning in the soup and that. So I just add a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, and I chop up a few green onions, maybe like a fourth of a cup of green onions, mix it all together, and then you just put it into the casserole plate, and you keep it in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. The other thing is, if you want to make it a meal, you could add chopped ham to it, or chicken, or sausage, and that's a whole casserole then. And the other thing is, if you like a crunchy topping, just get a half a cup of bread. You can use breadcrumbs, Ritz crackers, or you could use cornflakes. Mix that with butter, just put it on the top, and the last 10 minutes, spread that over your casserole, and you have a crunchy taste to it. But it's wonderful. Once you make it, people will ask you to bring it to everything.
Yeah, it just sounds great, and actually not that difficult to put together.
No, it's really not difficult. I mean, you could use the frozen potatoes too, but I mean, usually you either have the frozen or the fresh ones at home. I usually have the fresh ones at home, so I use those usually. But if you want to do it quickly, you could just use the frozen ones. But it's very easy, and it's good for all picnics, Christmas. I mean, every event, I'm telling you, they always say, can you make your cheesy potatoes? So it's a hit wherever you go.
That's one of those items where you can't make enough. They go that quick.
Can't mess it up either, honestly. Like if you want a little bit creamier, add a little bit more sour cream and soup. If if you like it cheesier, add a little bit more cheese. You really, honestly, cannot mess up the recipe. Because my husband has made it in a pinch too, and I'm telling you, it was just as good as what I made.
And it passed.
So. Yes, it did. It did.
Well, we'll give it to Rob and see if he can get it going.
Hey, listen, I can't imagine you ever messing up something. When was the last time that you can remember you actually messed up a recipe, Janet?
Oh, not too often, unless I leave it in the oven too often. That like sometimes with cookies, like you sit down and you watch TV and then you realize, oh my gosh, I smell something. So that's the only time. But as far as the ingredients, I don't think I've ever really messed anything up.
Listen, I remember my grandmother burnt chocolate chips one time. Okay, and she used to make what we used to call boulders because they were like double recipe. And we liked that taste so much, we would always say, could you just make sure you could burn them a little bit again? I mean, we actually enjoyed what she would consider a mistake. So every once in a while, even when things go wrong, they can go right.
I have a story on that. Well, at the store, we had that with Mike Lang, the announcer for the Penguins.
Right.
The one time we had one of the bakers, this was in the old McKnight store, that they had overbaked cookies. They put some up just for samples, just to, because it's better than throwing them away. Mike Lang tried one of those because he always shopped there. And we actually had to burn cookies for him once a week, literally, and burn the chocolate chip cookies. And he got 2 packs, and he'd buy 2 packs, and he was happy.
So burn those cookies. Okay. Mm-hmm. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got Lynn. We've got Chuck. We've got Diane. We'd love to hear from you. Potatoes are always a popular recipe. And pick some up today at Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
The popularity of cremation is on the rise. Unfortunately, so is the cost. I'm Dustin D'Alessandro, supervisor and funeral director. To keep the costs down, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox and the D'Alessandro Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Lawrenceville have on-site crematories. By performing the cremation on-site without losing custody of the remains, our funeral homes can defray those costs and pass the savings on to you. Our fee for a direct cremation is only $1,250. This low-cost, direct cremation offer is available to all residents of Allegheny County. Surrounding counties will incur a slight additional fee based on mileage. Contact us with questions or to schedule an appointment by calling the Blawnox office at 412-828-5700 or our Lawrenceville office at 412-682-6500. Our websites are thomasmsmithfuneralhome.com and DeLisandroLTD.com.
That'll be 5452.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting a $10 bonus on groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, we already earned enough this morning to pay for some extra treats you can bring to school this week.
Wait, so the app pays for snacks?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
With Upside, you can earn cash back on your everyday essentials and back-to-school favorites. The free app also gets you cash back on routine purchases, like gas and dining out, at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code CLASS10 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code CLASS10 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code CLASS10.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is 63 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police say at least 6 gunshots were fired Saturday night on the north side. One woman arriving at the police station appeared to be grazed by a bullet. She was taken to the hospital. Shooting occurred around 10 o'clock Saturday night at the intersection of Cross and Strauss Streets in Perry South. Police took one man into custody. Police also recovered a rifle. That man is in the Allegheny County Jail this morning. A candlelight vigil will be held this evening for Caroline Heinz. She was killed, police say, by Royce Moser on Wednesday night. Police say Moser stabbed her inside a vehicle, then tried to cover up the crime with help from his mother, Rachel Moser. Heinz was an 18-year-old incoming freshman at Penn West California University. The candlelight vigil will be held at 6 o'clock tonight at Trinity United Methodist Church in McMurray. Scary moments aboard an American Airlines flight that landed at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport on Friday night. That plane filled up with smoke while it was landing due to a laptop on fire. Let's get the latest from ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
Passenger Jessica Ergens was seated 2 rows behind the fire.
I said to the person sitting next to me, "Oh, shoot, his laptop's on fire." And I just remember I just saw the smoke first, and then it all happened really fast, and he was trying to get it away from him into the aisle.
She says several passengers tried to put out the flames.
There were 2 individuals that had their hands in bags of ice, and they were, shaking. They were visibly just very, shocked.
American Airlines says only 1 person needed treatment. Flight attendants eventually sealed the laptop in a thermal containment bag, according to the FAA.
Another local school district is delaying the start of the school year due to mold found in one of its school buildings. The Homer Center School District in Indiana County says mold spores were found in some elementary classrooms. It's delaying the start of the school year for all students to Tuesday, September 1st. In a letter, the district says the exceptionally warm and humid weather this summer created, quote, challenging conditions within portions of the elementary school building. KDK Radio News Time, it's 8:32. The AccuWeather forecast for your Sunday coming up.
So, at Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, they help people move with less pain and more confidence. I've seen it. In fact, Physical has helped Pittsburgh get back on its feet with confidence through personalized one-to-one physical therapy and advanced balance treatment. It's amazing. The therapists use leading technology and customized care plans, focus on balance, neuropathy, and pain relief. You get back to doing the things you love safely and confidently. Call Monroeville Physical, 412-457-8200, 412-457-8200.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Watch for a thundershower in the area this afternoon. Until then, we'll have some sun with a high of 73, followed by a spotty lingering shower for some tonight under a partly cloudy sky, low 55, leading to more sun and a rather nice day tomorrow, high 71, with a good bit of sun for Tuesday as well. The nice streak continues, high 75. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, we lost Judy. So, Judy, if you want to call back, we'll get you in the loop. 866-391-1020. Here's Chuck in Shaler. We've got Lynn in Squirrel Hill and Diane in Valencia. Chuck, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
This week I made potato pancakes. And I've never made potato pancakes before, so, especially on the grill. Huh. So what I did is, no, that was good. I like potato pancakes, but just a lot of work. So I took one of the Coons pans, took a package of bacon, put that on the grill, and I also put my griddle on the grill so it'd get nice and hot while the bacon was cooking. Then for the potato pancakes, I did 3 large Idaho potatoes, grated 3 large Idaho potatoes, 3 small red potatoes, 1 whole onion, and then I put that in the strainer and tried to squeeze as much water out of it as I could. And then I mixed together 2 eggs, a little spoonful of sour cream, some garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and 1/3 cup of flour. Then I mixed that all together and made about 18 silver dollar sized pancakes. So then I brought the bacon in, saved a little bit of the juice to put on the griddle, along with some butter, fried those up. And while that was doing, while I was cooking those, the pancakes, I diced up another onion, put it back in the bacon pan, which still had a little bit of the bacon grease in there. Then I sprinkled some brown sugar, squirted some honey, and with it all caramelized and was getting close to getting done, I took the rest of the bacon, I crumbled up and put it on top of there. Put that on top of my potato pancakes, and to have that crunchy, sweet bacon on top of it, it really went nice together.
That does sound good. It's like a fully loaded potato pancake. That sounds great. A bacon, candied bacon. That's something.
Yeah, I kept picking at the bacon and the potato pancakes. My wife's like, "You're not going to have enough to take a picture with here. You know, you better save a little bit."
That is true. When you make anything, you always end up eating half of what you made before you actually sit down to eat it.
Yeah, until I started cooking, I always went. My mom would. It's like she barely sits down to eat for dinner while she would eat while she was cooking. So she, because she knew, by the time she's done, we as kids, shame on us. We barely let her sit down and eat. Someone's always asking to get something else or whatever, and mom always does it for her kids. And then by the time
it's hard to stay away from bacon. It's hard to stay away from bacon. It's the smell of bacon. It's like coffee. Just you want it right now.
Just thinking about it makes your mouth water. It's like horseradish does that to me too. You talk about horseradish, it's got that taste in your mouth. You want some nice spice, something spicy with that horseradish.
Listen, I think I've only had horseradish maybe twice in my life. So what is horseradish?
It's horseradish root, and so they'll grate it, and then a lot of times you can get it just like that. But unless they do something to it, it's like if you're grating it, I've never grated it before, but if they say when you're grating it, you need to wear goggles and gloves. It's very hot. Very hot.
It's
Like
potent.
that gets in your eyes. It's going to hurt.
What do you put
a lot
it?
more than onion does.
What do you put it on, guys? I mean,
roast beef.
Okay.
That's the best thing to put it on. So a lot of times I'll mix the horseradish with almost like a mayonnaise. So it's like a cream based, and then they'll put it on. I put it on roast beef. That's what I'm gonna roast beefs, things like that. Like, even though it's like almost a cardinal sin, it does work good on filet or any of those or steaks. It does have a great flavor. That's why when you go to Arby's, they have horsey sauce. With this horseradish sauce.
Oh, cool.
To put onto their roast beef. That's why they do that, because a lot of people eat it with beef. Beyond that, I don't know what else do you know. I mean, it's already inside. You like cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
So, yes, you've had horseradish.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what's in it. It's basically you take Heinz chili sauce or whatever sauce. I use to make it, I would use Heinz chili sauce and add horseradish into it. Then I got a cocktail sauce.
All right, good stuff, Chuck. Thank you for the call. 866-391-1020. Here's Lynn in Squirrel Hill. Hello, Lynn. Welcome to KDKA.
Hey, guys. I'm so glad to talk to you because the last time I spoke to you, I was in the hospital at the end of May, and I'd broken my hip and my shoulder and had a heart attack and didn't think I was going to live.
How are you
but
now?
I made it out.
Oh,
I
good.
made it out. And Marty Griffin got me a stair climber for my house. And I'm home, hallelujah.
Good for you. Thank you to Marty.
I'm thrilled to be home. Now, thank God for Marty. So I have scalloped potatoes, which I've given you before, but I had to give it to you again because it's my grandma's. And so it's pretty easy. My mom figured out how to make it in the microwave part of the way, so it's quicker. So you just take a brownie size pan, like an 8x8 or a 9x9 glass pan, and you slice up 5 potatoes. And you spray the pan with some Pam, obviously, or something like that, and arrange the potatoes in it. And you sprinkle on a tablespoon of flour, and then you take a teaspoon of salt and sprinkle it on top, too, and sort of toss it through the potatoes, so that it coats them. And then you take a cup of milk, pour it over the potatoes, and you take a tablespoon or maybe a tablespoon and a half of either margarine or butter and cut it up in little pieces and put it around the top. So you're going to make a white sauce, literally. And then you cover it with about, I'd say, at least 3/4 of a bag of 8-ounce bag of sharp cheddar cheese, and cover that all over the top. Put it in the microwave for 10 minutes. Then take your spoon and toss it around a little bit, and then cover it with the rest of the cheese and put it in for another 10 minutes. And then take it out and throw it in the oven for probably 5 just to get it brown and crispy. And that's it.
That's easy. I love scalloped potatoes.
Oh, me too. My God almighty. I think I lived on those during the pandemic.
Yeah. And now, Rob, with your cold potatoes, I could eat those cold. They're good.
Scalloped potatoes.
I'm really tempted to give you a recipe for my potato pancakes because of
Go ahead.
Chuck, but
Go ahead. Go ahead. Give us your recipe.
It's easy peasy. It's like Jewish potato pancakes. So you take a little food processor, okay, and you just take 2 potatoes, put them in the food processor with half an onion, and then a tablespoon of flour, a little teaspoon of salt, and grind them up. And then you put them in the pan in spoonfuls or ladlefuls and fry them up, and they're fantastic. We'll serve them up with sour cream or applesauce.
Yeah, it doesn't get much easier than that.
They're so easy. It's like stupid human, you know what I mean?
Well, Lynn, we're glad you...
It probably makes... Oh, thank you. So am I. I thought this was the end of me because, honest to God, I couldn't move my arm or my leg I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and then I went to rehab for 2. And then I went to my daughter's for 2, and then I was like, okay, I'm going home. I don't care how it happens, I will live on my first floor. I have a bathroom, I don't care.
It feels good being home,
oh, my
doesn't
God.
it? I know.
Yes, I want to be alone. I know that sounds horrible, but, I need to be me all by myself in charge of me.
Well, you're doing great. We're proud of you, okay?
Thank you, darling. Thank you. I start back to work tomorrow, God willing. All right. You take care of yourselves, all right?
All right. Be good.
Love you both. Enjoy you every Sunday. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, man, I've had those potato pancakes, around my friends from the Jewish community. They are delicious, man.
Oh, yeah. They know how to make them correctly.
Oh.
Give that flavor. And, yeah, applesauce.
Applesauce is a big ticket item.
Really, yeah. Pork chop, potato pancake, and some applesauce.
Oh, man. I love it. All right, 866-391-1020. We got Diane. We've got Michelle. We're going to get to them in a moment. Lots of things happening, and we're getting ready to make the transition in the stores, are we not, Frankie? The fall is on its way.
Yeah, we can't stop it. Hopefully we can stop the rain, but we can't stop the fall coming. We got all your fall flavors, all the apple fest is coming, the different apple flavors, the pumpkins. You'll start seeing those coming out sooner than later as Halloween starts to approach and Thanksgiving and moving its way into Christmas holidays. So a lot's coming, a lot of holidays crammed into one that last quarter of the year. And it's just a great time this time of year. We're starting to see it cool off now. I'm sure we're not done with the hot weather, but it's nice to have that little bit of that break. It's almost like a preview of coming in the fall. Fall's my favorite time of the year. I love the temperature, just the smells and the tastes of all the different fall flavors. And you start bringing back more of the comfort foods. School has started in the past week. So, things are coming.
Absolutely. 866-391-1020. Diane, Michelle, stay where you're at. You're next, KDKA.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
What do you do when the power goes out for an hour, a day, a week? How long can you go without light, heat, your refrigerator? How long before pipes burst, food goes bad? With a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter of Pittsburgh, when your power is out, your Generac is on. It's that simple. Generator Supercenter of Pittsburgh always has generators in stock and technicians that can install and maintain them. Visit GeneratorSupercenterofPittsburgh.com to get started.
In the news, we're hearing a lot about data centers. Just take a listen to what Stacey Garrity has to say.
In very rural Pennsylvania, you have areas that are in the middle of nowhere. What perfect places to put data centers?
That was Stacey Garrity, folks. And it's pretty clear that we should be worried about what she has in mind for us in small towns and rural communities.
48 out of 67 of our counties in Pennsylvania are rural. So there are a lot of areas where you can put data centers.
Ohio's kicking our butt. They have over 192. We have a lot of catching up to do, but you know what? We need to deregulate.
Deregulate data centers? We all know what Stacey Garrity means. No local control, no regulations, higher electric bills. Go to this website, truthaboutgarrity.com. and see for yourself why we can never trust Stacey Garrity to look out for us.
Paid for and authorized by Shapiro for Pennsylvania.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, coming up next hour, the latest on the data centers and, of course, other things that have been happening in this region as well. Stephen Sapala talking about money that's missing and where it could be and why they can't find it. We're going to discuss that. Pittsburgh Public Schools, first day tomorrow and the last year of these buildings that are going to be closing. So Lots of local stuff to get to when we open up the phone lines in the 9 o'clock hour. Then it's Accurate Solutions, and then the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. Here's Diane in Valencia on the Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning, guys. Great show, and especially with potatoes too. Sale this week, 2 for $5. That's fabulous. Potatoes are definitely a favorite in our house. And one of the things, we're heading into fall and football season, right? My guys love their cowboy potatoes, and it's very cowboy potato skins, actually, but they're quite easy, and I can only recommend that. Make a double batch and freeze them. If you layer them in a Ziploc bag and you pull them out, have them as an after-school snack or just even quick lunch on the run go. Generally take about 4. Again, I usually take about 8 medium russet potatoes. For the 4, you want to use about a tablespoon of vegetable oil. Olive oil is preferred. Some bacon, kosher salt. If you have some leftover chili, great. If not, buying the canned brand works fine, as well as even refried beans. You need about a cup of a Mexican blend or Kojak shredded cheese, about 16 pickled jalapeno slices, a scallion or some onion, and some finely chopped cilantro. You want to arrange your potatoes in the oven about 425, or if you put them in the microwave, that's fine too. Drizzle some oil on them. If you microwave them on high for about 7 minutes, make sure that the knife can be inserted with no resistance. It takes only about 6 to 7 minutes. You don't want them too mushy. And then have your bacon ready. If not, make your bacon while that's cooking. When they're cool enough to touch, you're going to cut your potatoes in half lengthwise and then cut them in half again, so 2 pieces crosswise. Using a spoon, take your flesh out, leave about a good 1/4 inch so you have a shell there, and that reserve you can use for broccoli potato bites, which I can share that. It's a real quick recipe too. You're going to grease your baking sheet. Use some of that bacon fat. Like Chuck had said, it's bacon and potatoes goes fabulous. You're going to transfer your potato skins to the baking sheet and put a heaping spoon of chili in that. Bake them until the chili is warm enough and the edges of the potatoes are starting to brown. It takes about 20 minutes. You're going to reduce that temperature to about 350. You're going to top it off with heaping mounds of your cheese. Bake it until it melts, just only about 5 minutes. When it comes out, top it with your bacon, jalapenos, scallions, cilantro, and some sour cream. And with a scooped out potato, take some broccoli. Fastest way to do it is get your frozen broccoli, put equal parts of your scooped out potato, broccoli, add an egg, some Parmesan or any kind of shredded cheese, a little bit of flour to dust over the surface, mix it up, take a cookie dough scooper, put those on the baking sheet, put them back in the oven at about 375, only takes about 15, 20 minutes, and you have 2 great appetizers or snack bites to go.
They're great and healthier for you as well. Of course, anything you're making at home is healthier for you. But yeah, it's a great snack that everyone's going to really enjoy. It's making me hungry. That's how I know.
Yeah, and I mean, that's summer salmon salad that you have on feature this week. That's, you can really take anything with a baked potato base and stuff with anything, even doing like a breakfast sandwich. If you make a so-called a baked potato boat, do a, easy over egg, add some bacon and cheese, microwave it. You have it all in one, ready to go.
It is. And I said potatoes go with pretty much anything. They're just that versatile and can be used like these skins where you're filling them and for that part of it and just enjoying it that way. And it just makes it a great meal and very, very, very economical.
All right, Diane, good stuff. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
God bless. Have a great week, gentlemen.
You too.
Here we go. Michelle, last call of the day on KDKA. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. My recipe is from my Aunt Alice, God rest her soul. It's called Potatoes Supreme. You take 6 medium potatoes. You cook them in salt water the night before. You don't want to cook them. Also, you don't want them to get mushy because you're going to grate them the next day. So you refrigerate it overnight. Then in the morning, you're going to peel them. So you peel them and you grate them, and you add a 1/4 cup of butter melted, 2 cups of cheddar cheese grated, a 1/3 cup of chopped onions, 1 pint of sour cream, salt and pepper as desired. So you basically just mix all the ingredients. You put in a shallow 9 by 13 baking dish, cover it with foil, and bake it in a 350 oven for about 35 minutes. Delicious. Everyone always loves it.
Absolutely delicious. That's an easy crowd pleaser there.
It's always a crowd pleaser. Any type of potatoes is a crowd pleaser. All right, we're going to get a break in here, and we'll come back and draw this week's winner. Now, budget-friendly meals next week. Percentage-wise, Frank, family of 4, regular basis. You go to Coons Market, you buy groceries, you come home, you prepare it. Percentage-wise, ballpark, what are you saving as opposed to even going to one of those drive-through windows? Go ahead.
It's like half.
At least 50%.
At least 50%. You know, you think about when you go to, let's say, the biggest fast food restaurant in the world, and you got, you know, a burger that's just a cheap burger that's $6. You know, that's a 1/4 pound if you're getting the better one. $6, 1/4 pound. Multiply that by 4, it's $24 a pound for ground beef. Now, if I sold you $24 a pound ground beef, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I would be hung up strung somewhere. You are insane.
Can't do that. All right. Let me get a final break in here. We'll come back. We're going to pick our winner. Next hour, you and I on the phone lines. Rob Taylor's got the news at 9. Then it's Accurate Solutions. And then it's the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. Ray Fittipaldo getting you ready for the Steelers' final preseason game of the year. And you can read him and everything about the Steelers in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, which is available at Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh business leader helps stop man's suicide attempt.
Whatever you're going through, there are things that we can do to make your life better and give your life purpose and give your life meaning. And whatever you're going through, no matter what it is, it's just temporary.
The suicide hotline number is 988. If you need help, please reach out.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Honor the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks by visiting the Remember Me Rose Garden, a living memorial to the heroes of Flight 93. Based in Somerset, the garden features thousands of roses and perennials, wildflowers, 50 flowering trees, a walking trail, and more. See the new Visitor Center. Enjoy live music during this September 11th commemoration, just a 1/4 mile east of the Flight 93 Memorial. Visit remembermerosegarden.org.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In Pittsburgh, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 25 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Pittsburgh. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Let's get right to it and draw the lucky winner of this week's $25 gift certificate after this busy show on potatoes. And the winner is...
This week's winner is Janet in Hopewell.
You know, I must tell you, when you think of baked potatoes, when I was growing up, that was like a delicacy because you only had home fries most of the time or mashed potatoes. All right. If my mother and dad were alive today, the single most important thing that they would take away from Coons Market, Bob Evans mashed potatoes, ready to go, the family size. Even garlic mashed potatoes that we have in our stores. Bob Evans, the restaurant fame, has grocery product, and the mashed potatoes that Bob Evans puts out are absolutely delicious, Frank.
They are. You know, and you have different varieties. You know, one of the top sellers in that, besides the original, they have the singles, original singles, and they go like crazy. You get 4 packs of mashed potatoes. Wow. So if you're Rob Pratt,
right,
you don't have to heat up a big thing of mashed potatoes and have leftovers. You can heat it up as you need.
A little one.
Yes.
Listen, during the pandemic, I would get family-sized mashed potatoes, family-sized mac and cheese, and that would be my dinner.
And you left the family part out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just
right.
ate the potatoes.
There was no family. Me, myself, and I. You couldn't have spoken the truth even more than you did on that statement. Anyway, always good to see you, buddy. We'll do it again next week.
Have a great Sunday.
Next week, we're going to do budget-friendly meals. But right now, Rob Taylor's got a lot of news. But we're going to talk about Stephen Zappala and that money. Where is it as far as the city is concerned? Pittsburgh Public Schools, the first day of the last year of these buildings that are going to be closing. We're going to talk about these data centers and how communities could really benefit in a big way. All of that moments away. Get on the phone lines right now at 866-391-1020.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 64 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police say at least 6 gunshots were fired Saturday night on the north side, with one woman arriving at the police station appearing to be grazed by a bullet. She was taken to the hospital. That shooting occurred around 10 o'clock Saturday night at the intersection of Cross and Strauss Streets in Perry South. Police took one man into custody. They also recovered a rifle. That man is in the Allegheny County Jail this morning. A Ligonier man is facing child pornography charges after an investigation into allegations that he had inappropriate contact with minors. Investigators say they spoke with a victim who was 12 years old at the time of their contact with now 80-year-old Terry Barr. That victim told investigators that Barr asked him and a friend to, quote, pose nude for Barr. Ligonier Valley Police recently executed a search warrant at Barr's home on West Church Street. That's where electronic devices, cameras, and other recording devices were seized by authorities. Barr is facing child pornography charges as well as possession of child sexual abuse material. A candlelight vigil will be held this evening for Caroline Heinz. She was killed, police say, by Royce Moser on Wednesday night. Police say Moser stabbed her inside a vehicle and then tried to cover up the crime with help from his mother, Rachel Moser. Heinz was an 18-year-old incoming freshman at Penn West California University. The candlelight vigil will be held tonight at 6 o'clock at Trinity United Methodist Church in McMurray. Well, community leaders came together in Homewood on Saturday afternoon with a message to stop the violence. This comes after 2 homicides took place in Homewood over the past week. 5 homicides total in the city of Pittsburgh in the month of August. Adrian Young is with the organization Tree of Hope.
And we don't have to live in violence. We don't have to live fragmented and scared.
Gathering took place at Frankstown Avenue and Stairs Street, where Bethany Baptist Church of Homewood held its annual Community Day celebration.
The church needs to come outside of the walls and come out here with these people and show these people that they care about them and that they are somebody.
There have been 50 homicides in Allegheny County so far this year. KDK Radio News Time, it's 9:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Tickets are on sale now for the upcoming season of the Pittsburgh Speaker Series at Heinz Hall, presented by University of Pittsburgh, with Anderson Cooper, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, historian Anne Applebaum, financial journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin, former NASA Administrator Charles Bolton, and acclaimed war photographer Lindsay Addario. For information and tickets, go to pittsburghspeakers.org. Sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James.
Welcome to Verizon Small Business Days as a business expert meets Patty of Patty's Diner. They're looking through Patty's tech and plans, and Patty scores great deals on business internet and One Talk, plus a free 5G phone. Score a meeting with a Verizon business expert August 17th to the 30th. Call 1-800-483-4428 or go to verizon.com/SMB days. Available for select 5G phones. New line device payment agreement and MyBiz plan with $5 a month add-on spending required. Applicable credit applied to account over agreement term up to 36 months. Terms apply. Offer ends 8/30/2026.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings some sunshine, but the risk for an afternoon thunder shower with a high of 73, and a shower may linger for some tonight, otherwise partly cloudy, low 55, followed by a nice stretch starting tomorrow with a good bit more sun and a high of 71, with more sun than clouds for Tuesday as well. Still another nice day, high 75. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli.
Another summer has come and gone too quickly, and kids are heading back to school for another year. While the first day of school is exciting, it's also a good time to remind drivers that thousands of kids around Western Pennsylvania will be waiting for the bus in the morning. Although it may seem like common sense to stop when a school bus with flashing red lights has its stop sign extended, Pittsburgh Public Schools reported more than 10,300 violations last year alone. Too many drivers are not getting the message. The latest study from the state shows more than 76,000 violations across the Commonwealth in 2024, resulting in $23.2 million in fines. Video evidence provided by Pittsburgh Public Schools shows too many heart-stopping close calls that could have ended in injury or worse. So, as a friendly reminder, remember to keep an eye out for kids walking to their stops as you begin your week, and no matter what side of the road you're on, obey the bus stop arm. It will cost you financially and could cost your community a life.
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
All right, so tomorrow night, Rachel Heisler will be here. We'll talk more about this supposed missing money. But remember, this thing's got to play itself out. And I don't think we should be making any accusations or allegations other than what we know and what Stephen Sapala has said. Now, the caveat is they're saying possibly some bank accounts this money could have ended up in. Who knows? We're going to let it play out. But look, I think the reason why you folks don't want to talk about it, and I've made a good case starting yesterday morning, is because I don't think any of you are shocked. This is everywhere. I mean, same thing happened with the pension money, right? In Allegheny County. My phones weren't ringing off the hook. People weren't out front with torches, you know. They weren't trying to get the drawbridge up at the castle because I think people look at what's happening in our country. And so you got Mr. Sapala, who's an incredible district attorney, would have made a great governor, I thought, in my opinion. Actually was pushing that idea many years ago. Much respect for the family. Don't know them that well. I've met Mr. Sapala a few times, but he works really hard at what he does. And this is a story that may not go away and anytime soon, and it could get really ugly. But I think people need to know. And, you know, Rachel is going to be here tomorrow night. She's been talking about shortfalls and money issues for a long time. And finally, she cried wolf enough and people started to pay attention. She's been saying the same thing about the Pittsburgh Public Schools. So she has really done an incredible job. Now, Corey O'Connor's only been in for a short time, but he's moving some mountains, getting things going in the right direction. But long haul, we're going to have to wait and see. And I'm not going to say anything negative about Ed Gainey. A lot of respect for him. But you have to understand, this city has been going through a very turbulent time for a very long time. And the problem with our country, it's the same thing with Dr. Fauci, right? We try to focus on an individual or a certain period of time and try to throw everybody under the bus, as opposed to understanding all the issues that we've had and continue to have did not happen overnight, okay? So you got to look at the big picture. But if I was from the city, I would want to talk. I would want to give my opinion. But if I'm from Allegheny County and about the pensions, I would want to give my opinion. Now, will the taxpayers have to make up the difference? I don't know what's going to happen in Allegheny County. But somebody who's worked, done the time, been promised a certain pension should get it. Okay? I just know too many situations where people don't end up getting what they have worked for. I know people that have put in 40 years, 45 years, and just when they're ready to retire, the pension completely changes. I mean, I go back to the mill days when people were literally a year or 6 months shy of getting their full pension. The mill shut down. The pension was null and void. So none of this stuff is new, okay? But we've got to find a way to stop it. And school districts, the Pittsburgh Public Schools, this is the day one tomorrow of the year in which many of these buildings are going to be closed. But they've been closing buildings for a long time. But if you don't stop chopping away at the tree, sooner or later, that tree is going to come tumbling down, and there's a chance it could land all on us, on all of us. So those are two big issues. I don't think you folks will bite on either one of them. But if you want to call, you know what you can do. 866-391-1020. It's like we talk violence. You folks don't want to bite on that either because it's become the common headline, has it not? Got this horrible, 18-year-old California university student, just absolutely atrocious. Don't like thinking about it. I was telling someone earlier today, I have a young daughter. It's hard for me to talk about these stories today. I got 2 young sons, and one's got 3 children of his own. When I was a young broadcaster trying to get the scoop, get the story, I'd have plowed over anything to get the story. But now I basically tiptoe through it, look at all the information, and then want opinions from you. Because it's tough for me talking about this stuff. Because I got family, I got kids. It hurts. And this stuff happens way too often. And, these school issues now, we've got mold in buildings. They're going to delay the start weeks away. You think these are the only 2 buildings or only 2 school districts that have issues with mold? Are you kidding me? All of this gets back to everything we have been talking about here in the first segment. Money that can't be found, money that has never been found, money that has never existed, money that needs to exist. I mean, we are broke in America. We are broke in America. And the sad thing of it is, we'll now see what Mr. Zappala comes up with, and believe me, he will go over everything. He will leave no stone unturned. This guy is ferocious at what he does. That's why he's been doing it as long as he has. And you're lucky to have him in Allegheny County. Very lucky. I can't tell you how many district attorneys we've gone through where I live. They're all good. But, with this guy, you've had him steady as she goes. And it's nice to have somebody who's got your back, who's been in one place for a very long time. That's why I believe in law enforcement, the sheriff's department, the city of Pittsburgh police, all of these different places, Washington, Beaver, Lawrence, Butler, all of these municipalities, township and borough, that last line of defense. And the problem is we have been so splintered in America when it comes to law enforcement. Many people don't want to do it anymore. And, all the shootings that we've had of late, just about every day I'm on the air, Clairton, Homewood, Aliquippa, it just doesn't stop. We got to find a way to make it stop. But it comes down to money for police officers. I mentioned a community that I very much know about. They are down to 2 full-time police officers. So now you have the state police going there to help out. State police can only do so much. So we're all upside down right now. But I am going to talk about something that's very positive on the other side of the break about these data centers. And look, part of it's my idea, and the other is from a gentleman who is a lot smarter than me when it comes to business, who will remain nameless. And I told him, you will remain nameless. But I've been thinking about this the last couple of days. And I saw exactly what Governor Shapiro is trying to do. And I like it. Cut back on the noise. Power your own plants with natural gas so it doesn't fall back on the consumer. Do more for the community. So, look, I did a little bit of homework. I kind of like it. But I also know, don't make it a political issue to where it gets thrown to the right, thrown to the left, and the next thing you know, it gets thrown out because the people trying to build them just simply go somewhere else. And once again, we lose out on the money. Look, it's all about show me the money. Money is what the bottom line is. They say it's the root of all evil and doesn't make you happy. Well, guess what? You can get a little devilish once in a while, and I guarantee you may not be jumping for joy doing cartwheels down Main Street, but the thing you will be doing is not worrying about not having any money. We won't be getting ready to start another school year closing building down or wondering how mold got in a building when we should have been doing routine maintenance, and we could have done that if we actually had money. And I don't want to talk about Trump at all this hour, so if you bring him up, I'm going to change the subject. He is null and void because a number of reasons. This war in Iran, ridiculous. And all the stuff he did, $40 trillion now in debt. So I'm not talking about him anymore. I'm talking about what we can do in Pittsburgh. And there are some really good things happening right now. But we also have to take a look at some of the things that need fixed right now. And the bottom line, what needs fixed in Pittsburgh, even the community I live, you live. If you're from Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Eastern Ohio, show me the money. We need tax dollars helping these communities out. And I got to tell you, I'm just saying this from my heart, my opinion. If it turns out that money disappeared, was misappropriated, and it did not go where it was supposed to go, that is a shame. Again, too early to make accusations, allegations, and more importantly, pointing fingers. I'm not. But it's just a shame. But it's not just there. And if the pension money isn't there, that's a shame for people who have put in their time. And everybody says we need to shrink government, we need to shrink our teachers, we need to shrink our law enforcement. None of you understand. You can shrink all you want, but you're going to have these people get in the unemployment line to where you're going to have nothing to show for it, but more of your money going into unemployment to pay for these folks. All right, I'm going to get off the soapbox. Let's see if you folks are ready to deliver, or you're going to sit on your hands on the Sunday morning and let me do this myself. Listen, if you live in the city, you should be concerned about what Stephen Sapala is talking about. If you live in Allegheny County and you work for the county, these pensions, you should be concerned. Listen, reassessment, one thing is for sure, her pushing the envelope, Sarah Innamorato, guess what? Maybe they'll start doing it on a regular basis, so it won't be once every 20 years and we'll deal with sticker shock. I mean, try to look at the bright spots. I know it's hard. But also speak up for your community. If you have an opportunity on a brand like this, why wait? Put your money out there as far as your 2 cents worth, and let me know what you think. 866-391-1020. 866-391-1020.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist. I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Are your property taxes too high? Time is running out. You have until September 1st, 2026 to appeal your Allegheny County property taxes. Call attorney Richard Ernsberger at the law firm Barron and Ernsberger at 412-391-2515 for the help you need.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Listen, if you're just going to call in and scream at my producer, that's being a coward. Talk to me. There is nobody blaming anyone for anything. This stuff, and I know a lot of Democrats think, well, he's blaming Sarah Innamorato, he's blaming Ed Gainey. No, I'm not. I have respect for both of them. Look, we got reassessment issues in Beaver County. I have my friends that are business people calling me and saying, how dare they? What's wrong with those commissioners? Look, these are things that should have been discussed a long time ago. And you think that this is the only place where there's probably shortfalls in money? You think Pittsburgh was the only community that got a lot of COVID money? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You could probably look in any major city. You're going to be dealing with this stuff. At least we have a person looking into it. Let it run its course. Let's see where it goes. But if I live in the city of Pittsburgh, you shouldn't be screaming at my producer. You should be screaming at me and making your opinion and your feelings felt. And I must tell you, for those of you who keep thinking, well, we need to shrink Allegheny County government, who's going to take care of you? Who's going to give you all the bells and whistles that you've been privileged to all these years? And everybody keeps talking about my taxes, my taxes. Well, guess what? Yeah, they're taking taxes, but nobody's had any reassessment done in how long? I mean, this is the first in Beaver County in a while. This is the first in Allegheny County. And it's not like it's going to break the bank. But do you understand, school districts, your kids, your grandkids, going to school, teachers who have to go out and buy pencils for their students and crayons and tablets. Is that the America that you want to live in? And all you folks want to do is talk about Trump. President Trump's not going to put food on your table. I don't care what he does at Mar-a-Lago. I don't care what he builds in Washington, D.C., the Grand Ballroom. None of it matters. That's not going to take care of us in Western Pennsylvania. But these data centers could. And here's the key. Are you ready? Again, from a smarter man than me. He said, government thinks too much like government and doesn't think enough like business because they don't understand. And I'm ashamed that I didn't think of this idea. Instead of them utilizing free natural gas that is in our backyard and property like the $50 million they spent on the racetrack in Beaver County, why not make them pay us for the electricity? You want to bring your data center here, you pay us. And people who live in and around that data center should not pay for electricity. Now, I don't know if this is fact or fiction, and if somebody lives in Shippingport, maybe they'll call, but I'm not holding my breath. It's Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. People going to church service, drinking a cup of coffee, reading the newspaper, or listening to me, and they're in their pajamas. I get it. But I heard in Shippingport, because of the nuclear power plant, some people got free cable and free phone. This was back in the day, everybody had landlines, right? And Bell telephone. I don't know if that's true or not. But I got to tell you, if a major player like Apple, Microsoft, Meta moves into the neighborhood and they want a piece of property because we have what they need for their data centers and they're making gazillions and billions and billions and billions, soon to be trillions, like Apple, the first $1 trillion company in the world of technology, and now SpaceX, number 2, and the guy who runs it, a trillionaire. Why not charge them for electricity to the point where people who live within a 10-mile radius aren't paying electricity? Do you know what else this would do? It would make people want to move into those communities. Imagine if we were the first to do it, and it would take everybody else like a couple of years to ramp up to be able to do it. Do you realize the amount of people that would come to Pennsylvania? It would be like when the steel mills were booming. And they have to help with public education. They have to beautify downtown. They got to plant flowers. They got to knock down buildings, repurpose storefronts. They got the money. I mean, this isn't like us having to give tax credits to get them to come here. They've got the money. They want to spend the money. We just need to be talking. That's it. We just need to be talking to them. But I kind of like this Governor Shapiro thing, man. And maybe I spoke too soon because I was worried that he was going to push them to an extreme. But if these 4 things that I saw earlier today when I was doing a little work this morning before I came into work, because it's going to be a hot topic. State Senator Jay Costa, who's all for what the governor's doing, is going to be here Tuesday night to talk about the governor. And the governor is always welcome, and he knows that 24/7, always welcome. Stacey Garrity has been here, always welcome. And she's concerned about money that he took for campaign purposes, I guess. Look, I don't want it to become such a powder keg that we get into a debate or the issue between Democrats and Republicans, these data centers, because these data centers mean money, mean lots of money. And they're not asking for a free ride. You don't get people like Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg involved. You don't. Every one of them are going to need data. And the thing that we have in Pennsylvania that nobody else has, and here we go again, we got the resources. The river, water needed, rail, delivery, trucks, streets, bridges, and we've got energy. Natural gas as far as the eye could see. And wouldn't it be nice if we got such an abundance of money because they're paying for the electricity because they're on our property that they bought off of us, that not only could we take care of some people as far as electricity is concerned, maybe the seniors definitely in a community that have been paying for electricity for the last 50 years, maybe get some money to a Duquesne Light so they can do the infrastructure thing that listen, Duquesne Light should be doing magic on the weekends. Because what they have been able to do with an infrastructure that needs completely overhauled, round of applause. Couldn't do it, don't know how you do it. But maybe we could start generating some money to actually start putting back into these streets. Look, I know Midland would love to have some money to repave some streets, knock down some buildings, put some new businesses on Main Street, Midland Avenue. They'd love it. I know Aliquippa, Franklin Avenue, they'd welcome it. I know Homer City would be all for it. You just have to think a little bit. But the 4 things that I mentioned, if that's going to be the stumbling block, it's going to be all systems go very soon. So not only did Governor Shapiro make it maybe a little bit easier, but also it was going to make a welcome wagon type of situation. When they roll into town, they're going to be rolling out some really good opportunities to bond with the community. That is going to make it user-friendly. That's the key, user-friendly. And here's the other thing that nobody wants to admit, and if you're in the building trade, you should want to call me right now. Carpenter, electrician, plumber. Do you understand how much work this is going to be for the carpenters and plumbers for the next 10, 15, 20 years? Are you kidding me? There won't be a man or woman hanging their tool belt up more than 8 hours when they're home to get some rest. They're going to be going 6 days a week, double shifts. This is business. This is how it works. And government needs to think more like business. Charge them for the electricity. Open up a bank account and just start stockpiling money and use it for your... Don't you understand back in the day when they were stringing massive Christmas lights across the street from one lamppost to the other? Big celebrations, big picnics, parks, everything. It was all coming from the steel mills. And these data centers, no, it's not going to be like that, but it could be such a stockpile of money that we're going to have opportunity to really get out that big, broad brush from one side of the street to the next and do incredible things. This could actually turn things around for Main Street America. And I'm going to explain to you why this money could be such stupid money that it could make us all really smart. 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. We're in Open Talk until 10. Rob, coming up with your news update at the bottom of the hour, then we get right back at it. It's Rob Pratt, Sunday morning on KDK. Don't forget, we're streaming on X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Metropolitan Window Video Screen, KDKRadio.com, KDK Watch, and, of course, KDK 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and the Odyssey app.
St. Anthony School Programs is thrilled to announce their upcoming golf outing on Monday, September 28th at Old Stonewall Golf Club. A great day supporting a great cause. St. Anthony provides inclusive education, therapy services, and job skills development for students ages 5 to 22 with Down syndrome, autism spectrum disorder, and other special needs. For over 70 years, St. Anthony's has empowered students of all faiths to reach their full potential, live independently, and contribute meaningfully to society. Learn more at stanthonykids.org.
Pennsylvania, the casino floor is now at your fingertips with the Hollywood Casino app. Don't miss your chance at their wide cash jackpots with over $1 million paid out monthly. Now's your chance to join thousands of other winners. They've got all your favorites, including over 2,000 slot games, tables, and live dealers. Right now, new players can get 300 bonus spins and up to $500 back in casino credits. Hollywood Casino. Download and play today. Must be 21 and over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or MyReset.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times, but when you need us, we're here for you, and we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, groceries, laundry, diapers, work, carpool schedules, picture day, swim team, did we mention diapers, birthday parties, meal prep, lost permission slips, dentist appointments, and the dog that still needs to be walked. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. Sit tight, hon. I'll be right back. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone. Oh, wait. Since when are candles not on the baking aisle? But never happens. And temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 64 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A candlelight vigil will be held this evening for Caroline Heinz. She was killed, police say, by Royce Moser Wednesday night. Police say Moser stabbed her inside of a vehicle and then tried to cover up the crime with help from his mother, Rachel Moser. Heinz was an 18-year-old incoming freshman at Penn West California University. That candlelight vigil will be held tonight, 6 o'clock at Trinity United Methodist Church in McMurray. KDK Radio News Time, it's 9:31. Our next update's coming up at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio KDK.
Good for you and good for the community. Silk is proud to partner with the Yellow Glasses Project, Dollar General's literacy fund for students. Pick up your $2 sunglasses and show your support. Then reach for Silk Original Almond Milk, packed with 50% more calcium than dairy milk and 5 essential nutrients. Find Silk Original Almond Milk in the refrigerated section today.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Watch for a thunder shower in the area this afternoon. Until then, we'll have some sun with a high of 73, followed by a spotty lingering shower for some tonight under a partly cloudy sky, low 55, leading to more sun and a rather nice day tomorrow, high 71, with a good bit of sun for Tuesday as well. The nice streak continues, high 75. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us Monday on the Big K Morning Show, 5:30 until 10. Pittsburgh Public Schools back in session, and we've got everything you need to know before you go.
All right, before I go, I'm here till 1 o'clock, and then I'm done for the day. And don't forget, my colleagues will be here throughout the day as well. But I do want to say this. I just got a little instant access from my buddy Don. Says, Rob, relax. We love you. Calm down. Look, can't calm down. We've all been calm too long. That's why we're $40 trillion in debt. That's why we have these financial issues in the city. That's why we have pension issues in Allegheny County. That's why we have school buildings full of mold, and we have buildings closing down. I mean, wake up, people. If somebody doesn't do this, who will? We got to jumpstart this country again. We have a chance in this region to do just that. My goodness gracious. 866-391-1020. Here's Bill. Go ahead, Bill. How are you? Good morning. Welcome to KDKA.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I am spectacular.
I'm looking at your analysis on an income stream for the community. And if you ever met someone that came to Pittsburgh and, came through the tunnels for the first time, or was at the, saw the vista from Mount Washington the first time, or went to the Strip District for the first time, we have great things to offer. I think we just need to capitalize, and I'd just like to get your opinion on how to influx that capitalization into the projects that we need to be done.
Well, so again, what type of capitalization are you talking about again?
For infrastructure for the city.
Well, listen, I stumbled upon this because of someone who brought it to my attention, who's very smart in business and is an entrepreneur. I was talking about, hey, don't worry about the price of electricity going up for these data centers, because they're going to be paying for their own electricity, because no one's going to have to pay anything, because it's going to be free natural gas out of the ground. There are already places doing that. So this person said government doesn't think like business, and they should. Now, if you're smart, not only do you buy the property, meaning get the money if you own the property, or you could even lease it like a landlord and say, look, you pay us for the right to use our electricity. It's like if somebody would pay for an oil well. A lot of the mills did that back in the 50s and the 60s, post-World War II, and that's what built streetlights, built Main Street, put concrete down, asphalt down, beautified gardens, gave us community parks in Allegheny, Beaver, Butler. Listen, I can tell you right now, Brady's Run Park, a lot of that money came from the steel mills. North Park, South Park, a lot of that money came from manufacturing. But do you realize, and this is what's amazing, Bill, even as powerful as U.S. Steel was back in the glory days, when the icon was everything, and we had 225,000 steel workers working in Pittsburgh, the money that people like Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and they've earned it because they were the smartest ones in the room that got it done. Do you realize the money they make in Microsoft is like a nation? It's like a country. It's money like we don't even have in the United States. They have more money than we do actually at Fort Knox in our mint. They actually have more money than the United States of America. So this is where you say, okay, give us the checkbook and just fill out your name and we'll put the amount in. This could completely revolutionize all of these communities that have been literally at death's door since the mid-'80s. That's how I do it. I charge them for the electricity, maybe lease them certain things as far as land is concerned, have a company store like the old coal mining companies did, and say, you got to buy product off of us in our community, like the groceries, like the local hardware store. You got to use union workers. I mean, this could be such a cash windfall. And when I see what the governor did now, I want to give the guy a hug, because he's saying, look, cut back on the noise, which everybody's concerned about that. But from what I hear, and people that have built these data centers, I had a guy call me last week. He said it's like a fan or an air conditioner on. That's all it is. And he said because it's quiet, it's pristine, there's no pollution, there's nothing that we need to be concerned about when it comes to that. Noise has been the big problem, and he said that's not a problem. But the governor brought it up. Also, he talked about being more involved in the community, like I just mentioned, by giving them cash and also supporting the local Christmas parade or whatever they're doing. That's another thing they can do. I'm telling you, this could really work. And maybe with the governor getting involved, maybe we can actually do something to actually generate some revenue. So that's my thought process. Okay, Bill's gone. Anyway, Bill, that's my thought process. My process is to simply ask and you shall receive. It's not like these people are like, have a home equity loan. They don't have any money in the bank. I mean, they're coming to us and they're not. This is the very first time that any company has come to us in Western Pennsylvania and has not said, what do you have for me? I mean, think of all the tax credits that we had to do. Think of everything that the governor at that time, Mr. Corbett, had to do when it came to Royal Dutch Shell, which is still a windfall. But the other thing that nobody sees, if it actually does work, the first couple actually do work, you'll get more. And one thing we got a lot of real estate in Western Pennsylvania that is suitable, ready to build as far as manufacturing is concerned. Now, if you're concerned about these things being an eyesore, get over it, okay? Get over it. I would rather see something standing, a structure, even if I'm right next to it, than a house that's falling down, a building that's crumbling, a field that's full of weeds and debris, and old cars that have long since seen their life. I'd rather see business, people moving in and out. Do you understand? There are communities right now in Manessa, in Donora, in Duquesne, in McKeesport, in Aliquippa, in Ambridge, in Washington, PA, that they have a main street that at the end of that street used to be a steel mill gate that thousands of people went in and went to work. So you may not get 1,000 people, but this is what you don't understand. The money that these people that need data who are coming here, these iconic brands, they are going to multiply by 15 to 20 the amount of money paychecks wise and the companies were generating when we were at the height of the steel industry. Now, is this going to solve all of our problems? No. But here's the other example. We won't be talking about schools closing. We won't be talking about teachers not wanting to teach because they can't afford it because they're not all making $100,000 a year. And what they have to do as far as their own pockets just to be able to supply their students, it's 10, 15% of their pay. And I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you make. You live how you make. If I take 15 to 20% of your paycheck and get rid of it, you're not going to want to work much longer. So what happens? They not only quit, they don't go after those jobs because the word of mouth has already crippled law enforcement and the teaching profession. That's what's happened. People that grew up being in law enforcement, growing up being in education, they've told their family, their friends, their siblings, their own children, don't do it. It's not worth the aggravation. And you're actually spending this much of your own money. I mean, honestly, I can tell you right now, there are local, small community police departments that are offering right now $85,000 a year jobs, and they can't get applicants. They can't. And here's the second reason why. First off, people still can't live on that because if you're not making at least $100,000, you're struggling with a family. You're struggling. And nobody can live on today's minimum wage. And one thing Jay Costa is spot on. How in the world have we not actually raised the minimum wage in Pennsylvania? Why is it that these local convenience stores, grocery stores, and others have risen the minimum wage because they know, because it's business, not government, that nobody's going to work for $7.25 an hour? Nobody that's going to really put that effort in, and as soon as they get a job paying them $8.25, they're gone. It's that simple. Look, this is the coffee clutch that we had to have on a Sunday morning. This is the perfect. I'm so glad this hour is open because I am so upset with us complaining and crying and trying to listen. Do you think if we sit here and blame Sarah Innamorato for all the things that you think she did, it's going to solve anything? Or prior administrations in the city, it's going to solve everything? No. You've got a solution right in front of your very eyes and hands again with these data centers. You know, somebody said jokingly to me the other day, how about all these empty office buildings in downtown Pittsburgh? Why can't you put a data center in there? I mean, if somebody's going to give you $50 million to take over an empty skyscraper, and if it's safe, I mean, there's more bus traffic and vehicular traffic and people walking the streets in Pittsburgh than you would even probably notice. I mean, air conditioning units, HVAC units. I mean, dogs barking. Come on. Police sirens. I just honestly think that we don't know how to get out of our own way. And we're not talking about Brand X here. We're talking about massive companies that make billions and billions of dollars. They wake up printing money. They wake up printing money. All right, here's Diane Hampton. She's up next on KDKA. Hey, Diane, good morning.
Hi, Rob. You know, you talk about the pension for the county. That's unfortunate. I have a pension coming. It's not that great, but it's the pension.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You work for that. You work for that.
Right. When U.S. Air closed, they all lost their pensions. You mean to tell me they reopened our pension, and you could not they couldn't take your pension until you were 65. Maybe that's what the county should consider doing. No one's thinking out of the box for the county. Yeah, they're letting these people retire at age 50. So they're collecting pensions for 30, 40 years.
That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea.
When the U.S. Air closed, all those people lost their pension, which was very unfortunate. My neighbor lost her pension.
Well, let me also tell you what happened there, because I was right smack dab in the middle of it. And if you go back to when I was on the radio, and I've been here since the 80s, I defended every employee of U.S. Air when Wolf and them were going at them, and the airline was basically going in so many directions, and none of it was good. But I know people, when that stock share was at $81 a share, that did not pull out. It went down to like 2 cents, lost everything. I mean, 20, 30 years of their life. Look, I feel for those people, and I know what somebody's saying right now. Well, Rob, you don't live in Allegheny County. You don't understand. Listen, I don't care where you are from. If somebody has worked and done their job, they deserve that pension. And if somebody screwed up along the way, you better fix it. Or come to some sort of common ground to where you can work it out. But saying you're going to have to lose 40% of your pension because we screwed up, that's not right. That's not right at all. And it's just sad. It's sad.
So should the taxpayers feel the brunt of that in Allegheny County?
No.
Because someone screwed up?
No, but your idea of making them work longer, maybe that's a solution. Look, I'll be honest with you. I probably worked too long, not because I've had to, but because this is who I am, and I don't know anything else but work. The bottom line is...
You're wonderful.
Well, thank you. But listen, the bottom line is nobody should want to retire at 50 or 55. I mean, what are you going to do? You can only go...
authority.
I know. But that's there. And I can't tell those people they don't deserve that. I have friends who have gone on to second and third careers that work for that great brand. I love the PRT. I get it. But that's what they've been doing for years. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but those people deserved exactly what they signed up for. I got to get to a break, Diane, but I'm going to explain something else about why we have so much pushback on another aspect of our society. But guess what? When they were making $6,000 a year in the 60s and people were making $50,000 in the mill, nobody complained then. 866-391-1020. We'll be back.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKA-radio.com.
Been 30, time would have been 30, no, would have been 30, being 30, been 29, if that'll help, been 29,000, being 7, 5, would have been.
Get ready to bid on the equipment you need in the Ritchie Brothers Northeast Regional Auction on September 15th. Inventory is housed at locations in Pittsburgh, North Franklin, and Northeast Maryland, with in-person inspections available. Bid on a wide selection of construction and transportation equipment. Don't miss this great opportunity. Visit rbauction.com/Pittsburgh to sign up. Again, that's rbauction.com/Pittsburgh.
Want a health plan with access to the best care? With UPMC Health Plan, you have access to UPMC doctors and hospitals, as well as providers in your community, plus urgent and emergency care nationwide through the Cigna Healthcare PPO network. All this with award-winning customer service from our healthcare concierge team. When your employer gives you a choice of health insurance plans, choose UPMC Health Plan. For UPMC Health Plan award information, go to upmchealthplan.com/ best.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
August is Sandwich Month, and Easy Cater is rolling out a new surprise deal every week from August 3rd through 30th. That means every order of delicious sandwiches for your team comes with a side of something special just for you. From cheesesteaks and cubanos to pita pockets and pastrami, Easy Cater makes it easy to bring everyone's favorite sandwiches to work and rack up big rewards while you're at it. New week, new deal, all August long. Visit easycater.com to place your next order and take a bite out of Sandwich Month. Restrictions apply. See offer details at easycater.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, again, we'll talk more about what's happening with the city and finances tomorrow night. City Controller Rachel Heisler, my guest at 8. And more on these data centers Tuesday and why he supports Governor Josh Shapiro, State Senator Jay Costa. So let me give you another example. And this is what I'm witnessing right now with this pension discussion. When I was growing up in the 60s, everybody worked in the mill and made big money. And I've told this story. I wanted to basically go work in the mill where my dad worked for 40 years up until the time he retired in his late 50s, and his father 40-plus years before him, his brother, nephews. That's where I wanted to go because I just wanted to make some money. I wanted to get a new Monte Carlo, and I just wanted to live, right? And he said, son, not going to happen. I said, why? Took me around the neighborhood, showed me a guy painting a house, showed me a guy painting a house, showed me a guy painting a house. I said, what's that have to do with anything? He said, did you see all three of those gentlemen? They're on 13 weeks vacation. They put in their 20 years, so they get 13 weeks paid vacation. Many of them take the whole summer. He said, you can't survive doing business like that. I'm in management. I know. It won't work. Too upside down, too lopsided. He said, my place will stay open because we have a power plant. You dig? A power plant, and I'm going to run that. But we're going to have a massive layoff where I live, too. It crushed him. A lot of his friends got laid off. Luckily, he was around long enough to actually bring them back to work. But he was absolutely right. They all went. Republic Steel, Crucible Steel, J&L, what became LTV. They all went. They all were gone. American Bridge, gone, gone, gone. Just like the young people that got jobs at U.S. Air, which was the next generation of the greatest generation who didn't go work in the mills because the mills closed. 15,000 Beaver County, gone, jobs. American Airline doing great now, okay? And I know people are going to benefit long after I'm dead because of it, and that's fantastic. But I'm going to tell you this. When all that stuff was going gold in the 60s, and we were having big company Christmas picnics, and everybody had 2 weeks vacation, everybody had a new house, everybody had a new car, everybody had everything because of the mills. Teachers are the most revered people in our community. Show respect when you see a teacher. All of this stuff. Well, guess what? They were making nothing. $6,000 a year. And don't you dare tell me, well, money used to stretch a lot further. Couple of hundred to be a coach. Stop it. And right now, everybody thinks because times are tough and nobody has those big jobs in the mills anymore, that they all make over $100,000. They eat bonbons, lay on the couch 3 months out of the year, and teach the other 9. And they're done at 3 o'clock. They don't have any stress. Go into a classroom. Try to teach today. I promise you, they'll be peeling you off the floor. And they don't make enough money. Then they're not all making $100,000. And the only reason that we're questioning any of it is because America has no middle class anymore. The middle class has gone to the wayside. I'm going to finish this hour up by just telling you a couple of things. I'm going to school you, okay? We were given an opportunity with natural gas, Marcellus Shale, Utica Shale. This goes back 20 years. After the coal mining communities in Fayette County to West Virginia were basically falling to the wayside. Steel mills closing, gone. We were given a gift, the natural gas industry. But once again, regulations, accusations, finger-pointing, blaming, it's not fair, you're making too much, we're not making enough. It's kind of gone away. I still follow the Marcellus Shale Coalition, but I always think what could have been. But it's not too late. You see, these data centers could actually turn our country around when it comes to natural gas, because now we have found something it can be utilized for. And then because of the money that these data center representatives are paying us, maybe we could find a way to take some of that gold that is natural gas and ship it to places like China, who are going to have data centers from one side of the country to the next. Maybe we could take some of that natural gas and send it to other places around the world that are going to have data centers. And you know as well as I do, there will be data centers in Saudi Arabia. You know as well as I do, there will be data centers in Israel. You know as well as I do, Yugoslavia, Hungary, Germany. There will be data centers, Poland, and even Russia when this war ends, and definitely in Ukraine, but they probably won't need us because, you see, they're rich with natural gas too. And that's why Putin took 120,000 troops and is still killing innocent women and children, because he wants the resources. The UK, it goes on, Scotland, Ireland, they could all, Latin America, they could come to us. And because of the pool of money that we'll be getting from all these data centers and the companies that these world of technologies represent, the gazillions that'll soon be definitely trillions, they'll be sparing no expense. Because you see, with every generation, more technology is used. It's not just that desktop computer. It's not just that laptop computer. It's not that smartphone. It's everything, from that smart TV, everything, to the chips that are in your automobile, everything, to people who are getting an ebook, everything. And we could actually generate generational wealth. Do you understand? If this is done right, by the time we reach our 300th birthday, 50 years from now, it may be the only opportunity we have to balance our books. It took 30 years to go from a balanced budget to 40 trillion. That physically makes me ill every time I say it. But that's where we're at. That's the latest. We have gone over the top, 40 trillion. But when you think of an individual, Elon Musk and SpaceX sending rockets to the world of space, Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, Virgin Galactica, Space. Can you imagine how much money they have made? How quickly we could make it as a nation? Even form some oversight committee to follow the money, watch the money, guard the money. Like banks, we could reinvest the money. And you see, here's the other thing. I'm going to leave you on this note, something that nobody's paying attention to. We're all worried about AI, right, and artificial intelligence. Well, we have real intelligence that's really good when it comes to managing technology and data. That's the generation X, Y, Z. Millennials, all of them know technology. The same ones that are in the military flying drones today. The same ones that are in cybersecurity today or selling cyber equipment or being able to fix your computer. Look, when your computer goes on the blink, you call your kids. All the stars are aligned here. You got to think outside the box. You got to dare to dream. And right now, there's a way to help the city. There's a way to help Allegheny County. There's a way to help this country from sea to shining sea. And we could all bask in the glory. And if you have a few data centers on the horizon, so be it. It sure beats those steel mills with those smokestacks billowing pollution into the night's air to where midnight seemed like 12 noon. Good hour. Thank you. We'll be back in an hour with the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh business leader helps stop man's suicide attempt.
Whatever you're going through, there are things that we can do to make your life better and give your life purpose and give your life meaning. And whatever you're going through, no matter what it is, it's just temporary.
The suicide hotline number is 988. If you need help, please reach out.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
In Pittsburgh, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 25 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Pittsburgh. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC. A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In the news, we're hearing a lot about data centers. Just take a listen to what Stacey Garrity has to say.
In very rural Pennsylvania, you have areas that are in the middle of nowhere. What perfect places to put data centers?
That was Stacey Garrity, folks. And it's pretty clear that we should be worried about what she has in mind for us in small towns and rural communities.
48 out of 67 of our counties in Pennsylvania are rural. So there are a lot of areas where you can put data centers.
Ohio's kicking our butt. They have over 192. We have a lot of catching up to do, but you know what? We need to deregulate.
Deregulate data centers? We all know what Stacey Garrity means. No local control, no regulations, higher electric bills. Go to this website, truthaboutgarrity.com. and see for yourself why we can never trust Stacey Garrity to look out for us.
Paid for and authorized by Shapiro for Pennsylvania.
Mommy, how come I can't sit in the front seat?
Because I love you and you're just not ready yet.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1